I don't care if you've been webbing your red-headed waifu all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dank shit. On my left, Stitch is back.
I'm back. After 8 weeks, I'm the same person. I just like to talk things out ballistically.
Yes, yes. Welcome back. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choke people on the threes and fours, Chronos.
I wonder where Stitch leaves his snitches.
Ooh.
Damn.
These are good questions. Last but not least, we got the oldest ninja in the world, Old Ninja.
We beat to dank what he beat to lock.
Who like that? Old school. I like it. Blue is out, like, partying it up at a concert or some shit.
Some shit.
Crowd surfing.
Where'd he come from?
Yeah.
Crowd surfing.
Cell phone in the air. No longer lighters now, right? They use cell phones,
Yeah,
right?
because when you're at a concert, you don't want to watch a concert, you want to record it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. You want to save your memories.
Who we got as listener of the week or in the chat? Which
Listener
one?
of the week would be Lucy Jones. What's going on?
Sounds newish.
Thank
I
you
like
for
that.
listening. And I have to pull up something real quick because I closed my goddamn window.
No worries, no worries.
So just give me a few minutes and I will tell you who the first in the chat would be. I messed up bad.
That's all good. That's all good. We're dancing. This is a live show.
They changed my buttons around. That's
We
kind of
will
weird.
fix this in post.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Done. There would be no
Yeah, we do. We got, wait, whoa. First in the chat is Blue.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, well that's a good thing to know.
Where's the
But
hot guy?
he's supposed to be at a concert.
Yeah,
but
I
whatever.
thought you was at a concert, bro.
Whatever.
So
Homestead have passed.
we're going to pour out some Four Loko. Because this is quite loco for, let's get his government name out there, Malcolm James McCormick, better known as Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Unfortunately passed away to an apparent drug overdose on September 7th.
I don't think it's been confirmed yet.
That's why I said apparent.
I hear you. I'm just letting the
Yeah.
folks know.
So I believe his autopsy may have been finished, but I didn't see the results, but we'll wait and see. But apparently he did struggle with substance abuse, especially once he became famous or whatnot. I mean, this is the guy who pulled himself up from the streets, pretty much. He reached the #1 charts off an independent label.
Nice.
So
that's rare.
It was rare. It hadn't been. So this hadn't been done since Snoop Dogg's Dog Food in 1995.
Wait, dog.
The Dog Pound. I'm sorry, Dog Pound's
Pound?
95's album.
Get it right, motherfucker.
Yeah, my fault. My bad. Well, I mean, it's not like Snoop Dogg's not on a fucking album. Anyway,
All right.
but yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. I mean, a lot of people know that he was with Ariana Grande for 2 years. And some people try to blame her
Not her.
for his
not
death.
her
It's
fault.
not her fault.
If he OD'd.
Yeah, it is not her fault. She did move on and is engaged and/or married at this point in time. I'm not 100%.
Damn, that was fast though. What? I'm sorry.
It was, however, that's why a lot of people were mad at her, saying that it drove him back to drugs.
What
or
they
whatnot.
dating like as recently as this year?
No, that's
No, last year they broke up last
okay.
year.
All right, then that's not as fast as I
that's
thought.
not her fucking fault.
No, it is. I'm just saying that
I'm
was
aware,
a fast.
but
if they had broken up this year and she already got married to someone else, that would have been a fast turnaround.
But she is engaged.
Still not her fault though.
Yeah,
No,
it's still not
no.
her fault. She didn't push him and drive him. She wasn't like death to Thanos and saying you're a little bitch and all this shit. He struggled with substance abuse. R.I.P. to him for doing. I mean, he did accomplish a bunch of stuff very young.
He's
went
only
on tour.
26.
Yeah, but unfortunately he did too much and.
Well, I mean,
no
he's
longer-
rapped a lot about stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of his music or whatever, but I did go back and do a little bit of research. He was a big fan of lean. You know?
Oh.
That
Yeah,
purple,
so
that
what- I
purple
mean,
codeine
When-
bullshit.
yeah, so when he was touring, his friends say that he was really, really stressed out. So he was drinking lean and doing other drugs, but lean was his main one just to get the edge off or whatnot. And he was drinking on top of that, and his friends were scared for him. So he stopped,
rightly so.
he stopped cold turkey for a while, but
Yeah.
apparently he relapsed recently, and now he's no longer with
That
us.
shit is real dangerous. Like,
no
I think,
shit.
I think people need to be much more aware if there's any like positive stuff that. I mean, there's nothing positive of someone losing their life, but you need to be careful with shit. That's all I'm saying.
But
you
yeah,
know?
I mean,
God damn.
that's one of the epidemics they're saying of millennials is the abuse of prescription drugs that are supposed to help you. You can abuse any drug,
It's
but
it's not just millennials. It's
yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
true. But I mean, that seems to be a growing epidemic among millennials.
One, it doesn't really help that doctors overprescribe that shit.
They do. They
True.
do.
I mean, but yeah, I mean,
Like I was stuck on that shit. I mean, you guys were.
Yeah,
Well, you were there. Like when I wasn't like addicted to it, but I had to take it a lot. I had to take a lot of. I was prescribed morphine for a solid year.
How the hell?
for
Was it
pain.
in pill form?
Yeah, because I was in a lot of pain. So
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. If you're in a lot of pain, they're gonna prescribe to
Well,
you.
yeah,
things
but there's
that help
alternatives.
And
to
there are
Smoking weed?
but there are people who
Well,
have
yeah.
no prescription for shit and just
Yeah.
putting it in their drinks and popping these pills and whatnot to,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, like as a stress relief or whatever. And
And then doing too much. I mean, we saw the same thing with Heath Ledger, doing
Yeah.
prescription drugs, did too much.
well,
He did a little cocktail and didn't come back.
yeah. But R.I.P. to him.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
it's unfortunate. Died too young. And then next on our list is my boy, Burt Reynolds. For all
He's your peer, though. Come on now, be honest.
No, I'm older than him. For those of you who don't know, Burt Reynolds is like the 80s version of Alec Baldwin, kind of. Before there was Alec Baldwin, there was Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was suave, debonair. He's an iconic actor. Mostly, he started in Gunsmoke, the TV series. He's famous for the movies Cannonball 1 and 2, Smoking the Bandit 1 and 2, the original The Youngest Yard, and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Don't forget the Deliverance, right?
Yes, he is in Deliverance as well.
He was also in the most recent Longest Yard.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay,
does.
yeah.
He's a coach, I believe, in the remake with Adam Sandler.
Yep.
So he also was in Boogie Nights, where he got an Academy Award nomination
about that.
for
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actor. He had a famed marriage to Lonnie Anderson, who was also big at the time in the 80s.
He had hoes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
like
be
I
real.
Said,
He had-
like I
Were they in
said,
different area codes?
He
Yeah.
had plenty all over the
he
world.
was
all around the
Alec
world.
Baldwin before Alec Baldwin.
And had hoes.
So he was also the voice of Avery Carrington from Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I had no idea.
Video game connection.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So and then he was slated to star in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood before he passed away. He was 82.
Oh, is that still
But he
filming?
was-
That's filming now.
That's surprising because his back was all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not in good shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He could barely walk.
Yeah, he was 82, but I mean, shit, you put him in the wheelchair, still make him say his lines.
It could have fit the character. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, he could have been Larry Flint or some shit. Who knows? I don't know. But R.I.P. to Burt Reynolds, 80s star, iconic. I mean, he did have like a falter in his career, but Boogie Nights really put him back on the map, especially with the Academy Award nomination. He was a household name for a while. Even if you didn't really know him, you still kind of recognize him from.
You should know him. If you
should,
if you that young that you don't know who Burt Reynolds is, goddamn.
Who was
Yeah.
the actor that did an impression of him on SNL? Called him Turd Ferguson. What was the guy's
Oh
name?
shit!
That was some hilarious fucking bits.
Damn, you gotta find that. You gotta find that
Yeah,
name.
I forget his name, but he went by Turd Ferguson. This shit was so
all
fucking
bad.
funny.
I mean, but Burt Reynolds, R.I.P. to one of the OG players.
Yeah, Pimp Daddy Pimp.
Pimping. I hope he's out there pimping hoes.
Up
in
Jesus Christ. All right.
I mean, you know he's surrounded by all kinds. He's like, well, ladies, chilling. Oh, fun fact, he played football for Florida State.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Athlete.
Yeah, it makes sense why he was in the longest yard.
He was
He was
Norm Macdonald.
full halfback.
Oh, shit,
No,
okay.
fullback.
Okay.
Norm Macdonald.
He was either fullback or he was shit.
Fullback. Goddamn.
Him and the guy from College Game Day, Lee Corso, were really close.
Yeah.
At Florida State
He went
ties.
to the U. Oh no, that's Miami.
Yeah, what you talking about, bro?
I keep thinking.
You gotta go.
I keep getting the U in Florida State.
You gonna get fucked up in Florida doing that.
I know.
damn shit.
Halfback, so he's running back.
Oh yeah, fullback. There you go. He was a fullback.
All right.
So there
Good
you go.
shit.
Florida State.
You know what didn't have any pimping in it? Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah.
No Pimp Tony in it
wait.
whatsoever.
Did you finish the game yet?
No, I'm not done
Oh,
with
then
the
you
game.
don't know
For the
Pimp
people in
Tony
the back,
don't
were you
show
finished
up.
play this game?
Did you finish it?
For the
No,
people
I
that
didn't own it.
that didn't hear, where can you play this game?
Only on PlayStation.
Okay.
4. It's an exclusive.
No one gives a fuck about that.
Whatever.
I saw Xbox players are fucking. They're actually. It's finally sinking in. Like I've seen videos, they're getting mad, where it's like I can't play shit on this.
Yeah.
Y'all lost.
Like I mean, you can play a bunch of games that aren't exclusives. But
Yeah, I mean, there's Sea of Thieves is an exclusive. Halo's an exclusive still.
We're not doing
Gears
this
of
bullshit.
War.
We're not doing this
I'm
bullshit.
just saying.
Sea of Thieves is trash.
We
When was the
yeah.
last Halo?
What the fuck? Last Halo was a couple years ago.
Goddamn,
Yeah.
we're not doing this bullshit. We got to get to this review. Come on now.
Whatever.
You go on somewhere.
Stitch, give your review since you.
Yeah, you haven't been on the cast in a minute.
This is another moment where I'm glad to be alive.
Mm.
I made it. I saw the trailers. I was
Donald
like,
Trump is president.
yeah.
Oh,
Damn!
God. Damn. All our
God damn,
listeners.
that falls under his tenure.
Go ahead.
He's making
But,
bread again.
I picked it up on dropped on Friday.
Yeah.
I had pre-ordered and everything. I wanted to get the whole collector's edition with the whole the steel box and everything, but I waited a little bit too long from when they announced at E3 the different platforms and bonuses that you could get.
You could have bought a PS4 edition.
Pro.
I was tempting, but I need the whole TV thing to make it worth it.
4K.
Almost bought the special edition PS4, the clear one.
Yo,
And I was like,
It's
buying a
dirty.
4K TV. I couldn't justify it to the girlfriend. So.
But it's and for those that that pre-ordered it, you get a couple extra costumes, some skill point bonus perks and everything. So I told myself, okay, I'm just gonna play it for maybe like a half hour.
On Friday.
Yeah, no, that plan went out the window. As soon as I started web slinging, I was like, ooh, this is what I've been wanting. And just like the whole physics for how he's moving, and I mean, he moves so smoothly. Even like when I'm trying to like navigate or turn through buildings, and I was like, this is way too much fun. And then once you start fighting with the combat, it's got the is it the so-called Nemesis system? Is that
No.
I don't feel like
Nemesis is from
That's from
Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, and that's definitely not it.
the Arkham
Well,
Knight.
are you talking about the combat? So the Nemesis system is the randomly generated enemies.
Okay.
But you're right, the combat system is very similar to Arkham and Shadow of War. It's the same people.
Yeah, you
Rocksteady
can't just
system.
smash buttons. You have to. I mean, and obviously they play into the whole spider sense. You see the little comic lines over his head. You're
I
like,
thought
oh,
you didn't
shit.
like spider senses.
Thought that was you.
I thought his,
No, he has to
do the hairs
verbalize
come up?
that's my spider sense for you to give him credit.
Do the hairs come up on his arm? I can't tell.
This whole thing. And so you need to duck, roll, and I mean the criminals are no joke. They team up on you. They're not idiots where they just all stand around and just like, all right, you go. All right, I'll go.
They get way worse.
Yeah, I'm still way early on in the game. Obviously, I can talk a little bit about it because I'm probably
We're going light
Yeah.
on spoilers because none of us are completely 100% done.
I'm on the last. I got beat it today, and then I got to the part where it was like, if you do this mission, like
That's it? Okay.
That's the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll just wait a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to the Shocker. I think I'm on the
Okay.
second little encounter with the Shocker.
Silk the Shocker.
Nah,
Wait,
make
was-
say
Wait,
What happened to
the
that
shocker like two in the pink, one the
Yeah.
stick?
Ah, this motherfucker.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. There's so many Easter eggs. Even when you're doing like this, what normally is like the pointless missions of going around taking photos of stuff, it's cool ass shit that you're like, oh, this is the Wakanda embassy
Yeah.
that I'm checking out. Okay, this is and you're picking up little items in his backpack. He's got a card from Murdoch and Murdoch, business cards and stuff like that. So it's all tying into just everything in the Marvel universe, and it's really awesome. I'm loving playing it. And I got so distracted from like the actual missions. I was like, let me just go unlock all these towers because I want to see where actually everything is.
The
in New York.
Ubisoft towers,
Yeah.
basically?
Yeah, the Far Cry Ubisoft.
Yeah, so you know where I'm gonna go later on.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Someone just
Kronos, go ahead. Jump on in here. You're pretty far in the game.
Yeah, I'm at the end. And when I first started playing the game, I wasn't that impressed. Later on, the game gets better. There's a huge problem with the game with like pacing. So it goes from like being paced really well to being kind of slow, and then shit hits the fan and everything's like 100 miles per hour again, like way faster than in the beginning of the game. So, but the pacing problem actually isn't that big of a deal. My problem with the game is that it's basically Spider-Man 2. Like
The
as far-
video game Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, so it's very similar. If you don't believe me, go watch any review of the old Spider-Man 2 game. It's super similar to that game, and I felt like I was thrown back into like 2005. Like for real, like the graphics are better, obviously, but I went from playing God of War to this, and there was literally zero innovation in this game. I mean, we're still they're even still using fucking QuickTime events, and I was like, holy shit, like that's like really old style of doing things. I would have liked to have seen them do more innovations in the game that they were just completely absent. I felt like they just took pieces of video games. They took pieces of, Spider-Man 2, took pieces of Arkham series with the combat system. They took pieces of every Ubisoft game with unlocking towers and shit like that. It's really well done. Don't get me wrong, but I think that it's getting a little bit too high a praise for what it's actually doing. I think most people, they just wrapped up in Spider-Man lore, and I think that's cool. Like, to get all this Spider-Man backstory, and they're going really deep into like all of his history and shit. And that's cool as fuck, but it's in this package that is like super fucking old, and I didn't really appreciate that. Later in the game, it does get kind of cooler, but it's the same shit. You know, it's fun, but it's the same shit to me. Okay. So that's what I didn't like about it. But like I said, like the later half of the game is pretty fucking dope because the way things come together is pretty cool. And even like the little puzzles, which I thought was going to get annoying really quickly, they don't get annoying, even though they should. I don't know how they pulled that off. All those,
yeah,
like the spectrum puzzles, and then the fucking little circuit puzzles.
Pipe sweeper, or what is it called?
Yeah, you do that a lot. Like a lot, but they somehow don't ever get old. So,
all right.
Yeah, I remember like I was playing it like 2 days ago, and I was drinking a lot, and I was trying to do like this fucking one of the spectrum analyzing things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, am I drunk? And I was like, maybe I'm drunk. I just put it down. Like, I went to bed, got up in the next morning. Like, literally, I was on this fucking thing for like 15 minutes. Couldn't figure it out. Put it down, came back in the morning, first try, beat it. I was like, fuck, I was fucked up last night. Like, you had to think about it.
Too many old fashions.
Yeah.
God dang.
But, I mean, it's a good game. It is good, but I think people just, they embellish on how good it actually is based upon, like, current games. Like, it's not a Breath of the Wild, it's not a fucking God of War, it's not even fucking Doom. You know what I mean? It's good, but it's not like they ain't doing shit new. So
I think I didn't get a chance to play the new God of War yet. So
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say you can borrow mine, but I'm playing New Game Plus.
I also think what could factor into it is that everyone's been so wanting a good Spider-Man game.
Sure.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dismiss that review or something, because I mean, I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it, but I do think also, yeah, people have definitely been chomping at the bit for a fun Spider-Man game since Spider-Man 2.
Let's be real honest though. We've been wanting a good comic book superhero video game really since Arkham. The Arkham series, you know, what was the last one? Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Arkham Knight was the last one.
Even from the Marvel aspect of it.
Yeah, and Marvel's been... And I've talked about it multiple times on this show that Marvel needs to get back into making great video games again. This seems like, at least for me, the biggest thing that was a selling point for me was I like the fact that this is 8 years in the future. I've said it over and over again on this fucking cast. Everybody laughed. Everybody fucking joked. Nobody took it fucking seriously. But I said... Peter Parker does not have to always be a motherfucking high school student. Surprise, surprise. Here he is, an adult. Most people enjoy this version of him as an adult with all of the Easter eggs, with all of the adult versions of his relationship with MJ, his relationship with Doc Ock, his relationship with the Osborns, everything being pushed out of fucking high school and pimples and fucking math class and into adulthood is a much more compelling character as Peter Parker.
Yeah,
and as Spider-Man.
And Miles Morales is in it too.
Yeah, Miles is certainly in it.
Yeah.
That's another great aspect of things. The other thing I got to give Insomniac some props on is they took some things and twisted it. MJ is not the same MJ from the comics. You know, in terms of her, she works for the Bugle and whatnot. They've had a relationship and broken up and gotten back together, which is very centric on the comics or whatever. But it's a very different MJ. Miles is very different because remember, Miles does not come from the 616 universe originally. You know what I mean? Right? You know? I mean, I like that aspect of things that they make a slight change. I haven't seen a good version of Dr. Octopus since Spider-Man 2, the movie, in a lot of ways. And I love this version of Doc Ock.
That's the only one we really had.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had it probably in some video games, and we've seen it in, you know, obviously some comic books, and in some cartoons for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's all over the fucking place. But I love this version of Doc Ock because there's like a mentor to pupil kind of relationship with him at first.
And you get to
see
it's
him, real touching.
And it changes over time. I think that's really cool. And to see like the change happen is neat. And the fact that they have like all these other villains in the game. It's fuck. I mean, they pretty much go through his entire fucking rogues gallery.
Well, and see, that's the thing. For Spidey, we've said it over and over again, he has the best rogues gallery for Marvel. It's comparable to Batman in a whole lot of fucking ways.
I believe that.
And I like the fact that right off the bat, you see his hit list of folks that he's already put behind bars.
Yeah,
and there's a story attached to every single one that he's put behind bars. So the twists on the fucking characters that we already know, I appreciate it. We already talked about multiple times the fact that we've seen over and over and over again with the reboots, Uncle Ben dying and all that. I'm a huge fan of Uncle Ben because you don't get Spider-Man without that, but I don't need to see that again. But yet there's still some Easter eggs to Uncle Ben in the story. You know, you see the love and relationship with Aunt May in the story. You get the feel for brand new characters like this Commissioner Yuri, I think. Commissioner, for lack of a better phrase. She was brand new to me, and I've been reading Spider-Man, watching cartoons and shit for a long time. I've never seen Yuri before. Have you?
I don't know her either. She's interesting, though, especially when we get to hear Spider Cop.
Yeah. Oh, and the big fuck you weirdo. I can't remember the name of the actual author, but someone's writing some bullshit over at Kotaku about the cops in this game are problematic and all this other. I don't know if you've seen this article. I read about the first 4 lines and my head nearly exploded. And I was just like, throw this trash away. People are
saying pretty much how Spider-Man's working for the cops.
Yeah, and I was like, he's a superhero.
I didn't even want to
go
down that. I was like, you know what? You're not tricking me into spoiling that.
It's so clickbaity, but you almost want to read it, and then you get infuriated, and you're like, I have to step away from the fucking screen.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's pretty bad. I don't know her. I think it's a pink-haired person. Let's
but
put
then
it
also, another funny part is the J. Jonah Jameson podcast.
Oh my!
Oh, you mean Alex
That's
Jones?
one of my favorite points.
It's fucking Alex Jones.
Alex and Rush Limbaugh. Yeah. Like they had a fucking baby. I listen to the fucking podcast when I'm not doing anything else. I just put that on play. That fucking shit is remarkable. If you're not gonna listen to Black and the Black Times Infinity, listen to the goddamn J. Jonah Jameson podcast. Holy fuck, he's hilarious. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's my favorite part.
No, it's hilarious. Like, I'm just like, I forget what I'm doing because I'm too busy listening to him. Like, I don't even want to go in buildings. I'm just like, let me hear what he's trying to say.
And that's what's missing. And some people have problems with Amazing Spider-Man, the movie, and even some people have problems with Homecoming, like myself. But J. Jonah Jameson is needed for a Spider-Man story. It's going to be whack as a Spider-Man story in New York without J. Jonah Jameson.
No, he's a great character. He doesn't make or break the. He doesn't make or break the whole Spider-Man.
I think he's needed,
but he's great when he's there and great when he's cast right and everything. But
you don't get a sense of Peter's public perception or how the media feels about Peter or Spider-Man without J. Jonah Jameson being the mouthpiece for Spidey hate. You don't get the sense for that ever without him. You got to admit that.
We know the role that he plays. He's a troll. He's a troll.
He's a necessary
and throws one-liners and stuff like that, and that's funny one-liner and quips or whatever, and we'll find any reason just to talk shit on
Without
Spider-Man.
him, you think the world loves Spidey.
He's a one-note character.
But without him, you think the entire world loves Spider-Man.
No,
right? Yeah, I mean, you have to.
No.
There's nobody else that hates on Spidey like him.
Gwen Stacy's father
doesn't hate on Spidey like this.
Well, he's not like the voice of it. Like he doesn't get on the radio.
On. We got to give. I'm shitting on Amazing Spider-Man because it didn't have it as well. Not just shitting on Homecoming. J. Jonah Jameson is important for Spidey. Sorry, he just fucking is. Go ahead. Someone else.
Was he in Amazing?
He wasn't. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't in Amazing. He was only in the Toby, I believe.
Because I liked Amazing better than the first 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Even Spider-Man 2.
No, I got to go back and rewatch.
Spider-Man 2 was pretty epic, man.
So you know what's funny is that as I was going back and like watching the gameplay of Spider-Man 2, I totally forgot that Tobey Maguire actually voiced the entire fucking game.
That's impressive.
I was like, holy shit.
Was it a movie tie-in directly?
Vague. I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was just that's how every Spider-Man game since then like did their thing. Is that they took it off with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole movements and all that shit, like everything, like all the fucking web swing and all that shit, it's all taken from even most of the combat.
Yeah,
it's taken from Spider-Man 2.
I played Spider-Man 2. I can't remember it all super well, but I love the fact that with the web slinging here, rather than shooting up into the sky, you got it on building, kind of going around and acrobatics.
You have to attach the web to something.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Almost.
What do you mean almost? Oh, okay. There's some glitches. All right, yeah.
Well, no, there's like things like so. You ever do like the web swing kick?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't attach to shit. It just goes in the sky. You can do it anytime. You can be on top of the highest building, You can web sync kick somebody.
Okay, I haven't tried it from.
Yeah. I only just
I'm
got
not
used to it
around it.
because I figured out like a way to easily defeat enemies on freaking rooftops.
Yeah.
If you knock up in the sky, you web kick them, and they're fucking done. Which, when they're harder enemies, you need to fucking do that shit.
Have you noticed his whole interactions with like the civilians and whatnot, giving them high fives and the call out to Spider-Man 3 with the guns?
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
Spidey.
I've been too. I was like, I don't got time for you feet walkers. I was
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
gotta swing. So I'm like, I'm too close to the ground.
It's all about Spidey, bro.
And I'm gonna say this too. I like the fact that you can see very clearly Peter Parker is a chemical and mechanical engineer guru. He's so smart that Dr. Ock like respects the fuck out of him and is like, hey, I need you to fix this for me.
He respects him now.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you get the sense of him being a tech wonder of his own part.
Yeah, I think a lot of games and even movies don't even really get into that.
Yeah,
You know.
and you can only do that. To be fair, you can only really do that when you're showing a more mature Spidey. You know what I mean? Like he's gotten better at mechanical engineering, gotten better at chemical engineering and all that stuff as he's gotten more into being the role of Spider-Man. You can't do it at the very beginning. So this again, so far it's been pretty impressive to me. What I will say, a couple of things I don't like. The load screens are a little long. They're a little long.
That was jarring for me going from like God of War to that. I was
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are these things?
The load screens are long, and I mean, seeing the tips on them, I was just like, oh, okay. I rolled my eyes a little bit. I'm not a big fan of puzzles in games in general, and there's a lot of little puzzles, and they're simple, but
there's a
lot of
You're
them.
still
Right?
early. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm already getting the sense of there being a lot
When
of
did you
them.
become a puzzle hater?
Just in games, I don't know.
Since he's been fucking Prodigy? What the
Yeah.
I don't complain.
Prodigy don't do
I don't
puzzles,
hear
man.
these complaints when you're playing Uncharted. Or
I literally don't fuck with most of those puzzles, even in Uncharted or Tomb Raider. I don't like them at all.
You just look them up. You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I passed through
You're a
them.
fucking old man.
Yeah, I ain't got time for them puzzles.
Sitting there on the porch and shit yelling at kids.
Get off my lawn,
Down.
goddammit. They were on my lawn. That's my property.
Fuck Christ.
Unless you're like, hey kid, you do puzzles? Come here.
I will ask you this though: have you seen a reference to Gwen yet?
No, not that I can remember. No.
You?
Not
I
that
haven't
I
either.
recall.
I just thought
Is
that
there
was
supposed to
kind
be
of
one?
interesting. No, I haven't. I haven't heard anybody. A lot of people talked about this hero, that hero, this Marvel character. I haven't heard anything about Gwen at all, and I'm like, okay, that's
I'll try to
interesting.
keep my ear open.
There are some Venom references,
Okay,
subtle ones, but we'll see.
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I read this great tweet by I can't remember who put it out about the best way to play it is if you put on like a old school '90s hip hop, East Coast hip hop,
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Spotify list, and just start swinging through the city.
Well, that's another thing that's great about the game is like New York, right? Like you're going through the city and like I didn't understand like how much I knew about New York until I played Spider-Man.
Yep.
Because like there's parts of the game there's some side missions where there's photos. You have to find like where the photos are.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, that's a Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's fucking Statue of Liberty. Oh,
Yep.
that's blah, blah. Like I knew where the fuck it was,
course.
like, on the map.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck do I know? I've been to New York once.
Yeah.
So.
But it's such an iconic city. My favorite part was a super subtle, and I love the writing in this game. When he this is a slight spoiler. Hopefully this is a side mission. When he loses his like thumb drive, and it's like in the dumpster, and he's calling like the sanitation department, and he's talking back and forth to him like, oh, the sanitation drivers need to go to that one pizza restaurant, you know. The one in Soho, the one that starts with a J. He's like, oh, you mean Johnny's? No, not Johnny's, the other one. And that back and forth of like New York pizza parlor shit. I'm not from New York, but dead ass, that shit was great. I love everything about that interaction. It feels so fucking authentic to the city and town, you know? So I got to give props to the writing on that. What do you guys think about the skill tree, crime token, all of that? Any thoughts? And the suits and tech.
I love the suits, and I love being able to not be sort of anchored into having a suit with that specific perk. You can be like, all right, I like the classic uniform, or I like the Tony Stark uniform or the Iron Spider uniform, but I don't really want the legs. I kind of like the whole EMP explosion. Yeah. I love being able to mix and match and choose that. So that part's really fun. The perks, I can see how they come in handy. They make things easier, but you can still, I think, navigate and defeat people as long as you know how to when to roll, duck, dodge,
Yeah.
how to use your environment to your advantage and everything.
I
like
said that shit at the beginning of the game, and I fucking forgot about it. I'll unlock new ones. I'm just like, I like the ones that I have.
Oh,
like
really?
The perks. I'm just like,
Okay.
You're talking about like the new moves that you.
no, like
Oh.
the actual, like the suit perks.
Oh, okay.
So you know you have like three. Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Oh,
suit
for the
perk, and there's
focus?
3 other ones.
Yeah.
There's 3 other things that you get that you
Oh,
can
yeah,
unlock.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
those 3 other things, I maybe changed once
Really?
in the whole
Okay.
game. Yeah, and there's no need for me to change them ever. So,
Okay. I tinker with those quite a bit.
except for later in the game. Like once I beat the main story, there's one perk where you can see all the secret shit around you. I'll probably turn that one on. But
Yeah,
other than that,
I think I have that one. I have the XP, like extra bonus.
yeah, I got the XP and then the health one and like the bullet one. I think.
Yeah,
that's what
the one I got.
You know what's irking me a little bit with the suits, and maybe this gets resolved. And you're further than me, so maybe you'll be able to confirm this. I have not seen the Fantastic Four all white with the black spider suit as one of the actual suits from the game.
Future Foundation.
Yeah,
They have one similar to that. I'm pretty.
I've seen the one that's similar, but it's not quite the same one though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm missing. There's one suit that I haven't seen.
Okay, so
So
maybe
it's
that is
possible.
hopefully it. That was a dope suit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They have one that's a fucking. It's like a Spider Ghost Rider suit.
Oh shit!
It looks fucking badass. But I don't have enough challenge tokens to get it. I'm probably gonna buy it.
And so far, the actual Venom symbiote is not a wearable like skin.
Not that I've seen. No.
Okay.
But they have a lot of other like really obscure ones.
Yeah.
So.
Spider Noir and Spider Punk were
Yeah.
good additions as
And
well.
they have ones where he's just like wearing a sweatshirt and shit. And one
Yeah.
where he's like a wrestler. So.
Yeah.
And he has one where like it's a cell shaded cartoon one
I love that one.
where he just like insults people.
It's so fucking retro looking. So yeah, the other real quick thing from a writing standpoint that I enjoyed, they do something with his voice where if he's contacting Yuri the commissioner or MJ and he's doing something active like fighting or swinging aggressively, he's got a hurried voice, you know, and when he's doing something calm like just perched on a tall building or something, it's a calm voice.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah, that's like super attention to detail.
Yeah. I think also that when I haven't seen this consistently, but maybe you guys have in their game, when you knock someone off of a building and then you web them sometimes automatically to the side of the building. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That.
That's kind of cool because it would take me out of the game momentarily if Spider-Man is literally killing people.
Oh, I drop people off. Where am I now in the game? All fucking dead. They're knocked off the fucking top of the roof.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm knocking them out, yeah.
Yeah, because like where you're at in the game, you can fight them and defeat them pretty easily. But like where I'm at, like you need to take them out like right a fucking way. So if you don't take them out right away, they're gonna swarm you with guns and all kinds of fucking other crazy shit you guys haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And it's all bad.
Okay.
I'm just webbing them and then toss them off and like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You can also sometimes, I don't know if you guys knew this, but when you're fighting, you knock somebody down. If you web most people enough, it'll actually stick them to the ground.
Yes. Yeah.
That comes
I've
around.
noticed
Done
that.
that. I've
yeah.
done them when I come in there, and sometimes like when I do like the air launch thing, you can web them like to the ceiling depending on what.
I love that.
The background's pretty interactive.
I love it.
I love when you do like the stealth shit, and like the way that he like webs them up.
Oh, it looks like
Like-
actual. Yeah, the
Yeah.
perch, whatever attack.
I do that shit a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. Just leaves them hanging there, and I take a selfie with the photo mode.
Oh, the photo mode seems to be some of everybody's favorite.
Yeah, photo mode's legit.
The folks taking selfie. One quick thing, I do got to give them props. They do show like New York in a lot of ways like modern New York, and they put in like that. I think they have like their own Castro district that's in the game. You know what I mean? They didn't shy away from that or whatever for political reasons or whatever. So I give them props for putting in stuff that's truly in the city.
But I heard that they didn't have the Twin Tower Memorial thing in there. However, I saw on your feed today
Yeah.
that if you look in the actual reflection of one of the buildings,
Yep.
the World Trade Center is still in there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Only in the reflection. If you turn around, it's not there.
Yeah.
In the
Holy
reflection,
shit.
though, it's there.
That's
legit.
a great fucking tribute, especially with the game coming out right around 9/11 too.
Yeah.
You know that I appreciate those little details because the developers didn't have to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a nice twist, especially depicting modern New York or whatever. So
And then also, before we segue off of it, they do have scheduled DLC to come out.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them and everything. I was like, yeah, I'll gladly pay for this.
And they
everything.
mentioned New Game Plus.
Okay.
They've already mentioned that they're working on it, or it's going to be out soon. So I'm
Well,
happy.
I can see why. So we're not going to do scores yet.
I mean,
I think I'm too early for a score. Well, I mean, for
I
me.
will wait if you guys want to. You know, I can wait. Let me get a little bit more.
Well, at this point, my score's not going to change.
Yeah, well, let me get a little bit more in. We'll do it next week, and then we can do truly spoilerific and you know, get on old Ninja's nerves.
Actually, it won't be on my nerves. I have the fucking system, so it doesn't matter.
But
I just don't have the
turn it
game.
You
you
bought
go
a you bought a PS4, but you're not buying you're not buying the exclusives. It's like
I have God of War.
that's one.
What's the other one? I have Uncharted. I have the Uncharted PS4 edition.
That's good.
So two exclusives.
I also have Uncharted Lost Legacy.
It's a DLC.
And
Alright.
at the time, No Man's Sky was an exclusive. So
Well, you got Horizon as well.
I have Horizon
Yeah,
as well,
Horizon.
which I platinum,
Yeah.
by the way.
Are you going to get this Tomb Raider? Sorry to switch gears, but
I plan on getting both games. It's just a crazy time for me right now.
Wait,
so
you're getting Spidey
Spider-Man
and Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I'll get them eventually, but
Okay.
just not at the moment.
Tomb Raider does look interesting. It
yeah.
looks like a solid game again.
It just looks
Yeah.
more brutal. It looks more
It's-
violent than the last one.
They said it's the best one, but it has less combat, so that's interesting.
It looks like it has more combat.
No, they definitely said less.
That's weird.
There's
think
like
I've
more
seen the
puzzles and
trailer
more
for
like
it.
traversing and more.
boy.
Because
raiding
all
of
all the
tombs.
trailers I've seen has been nothing but goddamn violence and killing and shit. Her stealth.
You can
fucking
cut those
people.
things up to sell the game. you know?
True. I mean, just like in the other one, just like in the previous one, Rise of the Tomb Raider, there's parts where you're exploring and you're fighting animals, and there's parts where there's military men roaming around. You can just stealthily go through the whole camp or just go balls out and blow everybody up.
You mean fallopian tubes out?
That too.
Yeah.
Or labia
She's
out.
a
What
lady.
labia out. Labia majora, actually.
God damn.
By the way, happy National Video Games Day.
Is that what today is?
That's what today is. Everyone's been promoting it like
Okay.
big time.
Good
Some
shit.
people were some companies are giving away exclusive stuff because of the day.
Who? Who's today?
One is Crystal Dynamics. You can get particular skins for Tomb Raider before it comes out. Of course, you have to like
Pre-order
register
the
or
game.
sign up or some other bullshit.
Why is
but-
there a day for everything now?
I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
What, can we stop that? I mean,
No,
fuck.
because we want Be the BTI Day.
I don't want to be the BTI. I mean, unless we did something actually like significant. I do not want to be the
We will
BTI
one day. I'm just saying.
Maybe. Maybe we just talk shit from a fucking garage for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
We'll have a shed soon. So.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it comes on a Friday as well because Spider-Man came out last Friday.
Yeah. I think it's way too ambitious to be that close to the Spidey launch. I think they need a little bit more room.
They
But
did the same thing when Rise of the Tomb Raider came out because it came out with around the time like another big ass game came out. I forgot what it was.
This is the fall's gonna be packed. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like a whole bunch of. It was so packed that Battlefield had to push back a game. It's like when a game like Battlefield pushes back their shit because it's too fucking cramped, you know there's a fucking serious problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just too much content.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Did you play the beta?
I was just about to say I played
I did
maybe like half of a match of
Okay.
a conquest match.
Okay.
Anyone else play?
I played for maybe 45 minutes.
Okay.
I
You played the
m-
multiplayer, huh?
I think that's all the.
I don't think I had a choice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
I think
well,
that's
yeah.
all there is multiplayer. So what are your thoughts on it so far?
Well, it's funny because like I have a thing about playing multiplayer where if I die 3 times in a row, I'll just stop playing the game.
God damn.
I'm just like fuck it. I'm not. I guess I suck now.
It's a new game though.
It is a new game, right? You know, just like whatever. So I died twice in quick succession,
Uh,
and then all of a sudden I went like a fucking 5 kill spree, and I was like, all
all
right,
right.
all right. But then I noticed in this fucking game, when I get injured, not a goddamn person came to help me. I was like, what the? It happened like 5 fucking times. I was like,
That's-
dude,
yeah.
I'm like literally there's a time where there's 2 guys right in front of me, and they didn't try to revive me.
Well,
This
is it
why
li-
you run with the squad?
Well,
Hello, there was 2 guys right in front of me. I was with the squad.
well, they may not always be medics.
I was just gonna ask, what class?
Do they need to be medics? To
Yes,
revive
they
me?
have to be
Medic,
medic.
Medic's the only one that revived in Battlefield 1. I haven't
Same
played
thing.
this one.
Right.
Same thing in this one. You need to be a medic, and there has to be a medic in your squad to get revived, just like Battlefield.
People
1.
need. If I didn't know that, I'd played as a fucking medic.
It's a great class.
I fucking
I played as a medic, so I
That's
was
just
like,
annoying.
it was crazy.
That would piss me off too, especially if I didn't know that and people were like just walking over my
Yeah,
dead
I'm like,
corpse.
dude, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Revive, come on.
So I'll point this out to you because you play Battlefield 1 Prodigy. So when you die, you are stuck in your like fetal position, and you have to call for help. So your graphics
Not
are
if they see you.
no. Like so in Battlefield 1, when you die, you're into a gray screen,
Okay.
and you're waiting for someone to get you, and you have the choice to either spawn again
Die faster.
or die. Yeah. So you either wait or spawn again. This one, you have to call out, and you can move your character while
Oh.
you're down.
Not all the time.
No, you can move left and right, and then you reach out, but you can't
No,
move
that's-
forward or back.
That's turning. That's not
Oh,
moving.
You. Well, you're not standing still. Put it that way.
Yes, you are. You can only go left or right. That's turning.
You're still. That's movement of some sort.
You're in the same spot.
Well, the point is that the point is that you are stuck in this screen until you try to kill yourself.
Hold on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
man?
do. That's why I'm laughing, because if you're moving your head left or right in a first-person shooter, that's not the same as
Everybody
taking
watch this
steps.
video. I'm moving, technically, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just turning.
You're stationary moving.
It's important if you're in a fucking firefight to actually be able to move out of the way of bullets.
Yeah,
Grenade.
If you're
Yeah,
just turning, it doesn't fucking matter.
You can look at the grenade as it blows you up.
Yeah, you can do that too. But the point is that you're stuck on that screen.
Okay.
So and then you have to like kill yourself.
in your turning screen.
So also there wasn't spotting in the beta. Like, you can't. You couldn't.
That's one of your shits. You love that.
Yeah, I mean it helps the team and it helps highlight an enemy. So spotting.
You on your period?
No shit.
What's going on here?
Heavy flow. Heavy flow.
Talking about like sniper spotting?
No, yeah, kind of. Well, when you spot an enemy, it lets your squad know that someone's there, so it highlights
little
them.
red
It
highlight.
gives them an indicator where they're at. But you couldn't do that in this particular beta.
They might add that. It might just been for the beta.
Also, spawning was a little weird. Like, you know how you can watch your other player's camera?
Yeah.
When you spawn in on them, you're literally spawning in on the instance where they were. So you spawn in directly behind them.
Yeah.
Which was off-putting.
Only if they're not around somebody, which can fuck you up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if they're under fire, yeah.
How'd you guys like the map? that you were on?
The map I was on was cool. I mean, it had different levels. There was like a subway line or some shit that was in there, and
City map?
yeah, it was pretty. And there was like fucking tanks and shit. And I was
Nice.
like, I had no idea how to deal with those. So, like, I got a grenade and a bunch of bullets, which
Yeah.
can do shit to a tank. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in Paris.
actually, hold on, not even a bunch of bullets. I had like basically 3 clips, maybe.
Damn.
Yeah, I had like it was like 30 and like 45. So yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of bullets.
Okay. But you could still like pick up the like other guns from down people, right? Or
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You couldn't do that?
I could.
I
didn't,
I picked
but-
up ammo, but I don't remember like picking up actual different guns.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I might be remembering this wrong.
Yeah,
You were
I mean-
drinking.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If you're drinking. Yeah, the only thing about picking up other people's gun is when you pick up their gun, you pick up their class, just like any other Battlefield game. Which is a little weird, because if you're looking to revive someone, you pick up a support class and you're stuck with
So can you
that.
pick up bougie?
I don't know, it's bad.
So that's class, bro.
You can go to school, but you can't buy class.
Yeah, god dang. But yeah, so yeah, I died a lot. I mean, graphically, it looks a little better.
Better
but-
than Battlefield 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little better than Battlefield 1. I mean, the graphics aren't phenomenal. I mean, the maps are still big. It felt like a more polished Battlefield 1 to me, with just like a little weird tweaks. Spotting, I hope, is in the final game.
Are they going to cross over? Because on Battlefield 1, lately, they've been talking about like the Road to Battlefield V or 5. Which one is it?
I think it's V. But
Okay.
Probably for V Day, right? But
Yeah. But are they doing the whole thing of like your points add up to this still? Like you unlock like
So you know how-
guns right off the bat?
You know how they have operations?
Yeah.
It looks like there's something similar. I don't remember what it's called, but
But you
it
know
has,
the
like-
shit I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It
Okay.
it was the beta was limited, but they
Okay.
do have this thing where it talk about like road, because I wanted to play their battle royale edition. I don't know if it was available or if it shut down by the time I played, because I played on the last day.
yeah, I don't know. Like all I want is a better single player experience or PVE.
Okay.
That is what I want in a Battlefield game.
Yeah,
If you don't have either of those, I'm probably not gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not gonna buy it.
PVE might be in their their battle royale mode something.
That doesn't sound like PvE.
Yeah,
that's what
well,
Battle Royale
it's
usually
kind of
is.
like Destiny's Gambit, where you're playing enemies and then you can jump in. Other like players will be able to jump in
Sounds
and
more
try
like
to take you
horde
out.
shit.
Well, it's like a mix.
Okay.
So, and then anybody get a chance to play Black Ops 4's Blackout beta?
I did not.
I did
you?
not either. No.
Damn. Was
Oh,
it
so-
only available if you pre-order? Anybody know?
I don't know. Did you play it or no?
No, I was looking to try to play it, but I think it ended the same day as Battlefield 5 or V or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was hella people saying it was excellent. IGN was saying it was probably the best thing. It eclipses a single-player like experience almost. I was like, holy shit. So,
We'll
I don't
see.
know. I didn't get a chance to experience it.
I played Guacamelee too. That game was good as fuck. It's got the Mexiverse.
Does it really have the Mexiverse?
Yeah, it's great.
That's a real thing.
amazing.
It was fucking amazing.
That's a good
That's
thing.
awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about Black Ops. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Call of Duty is a franchise that is going to do well, despite the very loud, objections year after year, and some of them are rightly so about the game. Problems with whatever new mode or mechanics or old modes that are in there. A lot of people bitch about Call of Duty, and then usually it's one of the best sellers every goddamn year. That's what happens.
It's usually top 3, if not the top selling.
Yeah. So. I think it's going to follow suit. I think it's going to do very well, and people are still going to bitch about it. I think both are going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't bitch about anything now?
Yeah,
really? Especially when you're at the top, it's easier for people to come at you.
There you go, skate, coming at you.
So,
all right,
we'll see.
Do we want to get into this Henry Cavill? I don't know if it's controversy. I don't know if it's news. I don't know if it's rumors.
I think it's rumors because I've heard opposing sides on both sides.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. So Warner Brothers hadn't confirmed shit. Well, say what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so apparently Henry Cavill is done being Superman. But opposing reports say that that's not true at all. That his agent said that that's not true, that he's still going to be Superman. But the interesting thing is that other reports are saying that Warner Brothers is looking at Michael B. Jordan to play Superman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which is, it sounds awful at face value, but
all right,
there's a possibility that I know is not going to fucking happen because DC's fucked up so bad they can't do this. But there is a Black Superman in a different universe.
Yep.
But there's no way they're going to do the multiversal thing at this point. Even though they kind of hinted to it, they have like ways to do it, but they fucked up like almost all their movies. So there's no way they're going to like fix it with like making him the Black Superman. I don't think they're going to do it. I think that Henry Cavill is probably still going to be Superman for a while.
Is he under contract for the next one, or is that up in the air? That's what I couldn't confirm.
Well, contracts can always be broken, right?
That's true.
From
That's
either
true.
end. So
That's true.
This stemmed from Shazam, which is weird.
Well, it was a scheduling conflict, which he had a scheduling conflict for fucking Justice League.
Wait, he was supposed to be in Shazam?
He's supposed to have a cameo in Shazam, and basically money negotiations fell apart. That's when the rumors hit that he was leaving, and it might have been that he was just leaving that project versus leaving the DCEU.
Warner Brothers got to get their fucking shit together.
So
man.
Warner Brothers has not confirmed. And then Henry Cavill released some cryptic like video on Instagram where he's in a like workout shirt that says Krypton training team.
Okay.
With them with a dumbbell, and then he holds up like an action figure of Superman with his likeness. And he holds it up, he looks at the camera, and then pulls it back down.
That don't mean shit.
And then that's it. And it's exactly. It's like super cryptic. And then Warner Brothers and his agent were talking about how they have a working relationship, and that's
Hollywood talk, man.
Yeah, it was basically like stuff. Basically, like there's nothing to see here, move along type stuff. So they didn't confirm or deny that he left.
Go ahead.
Chief Wiggum's on him, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
I will say this. Nobody, even the hardcore Superman fans, hardcore DC heads, nobody's really like chomping at the bit for Man of Steel 2. I haven't heard any noise or chatter about that online for a while now, and that's not a good sign for Superman in this form coming back. It really
somebody was saying on like one of the Black Nerd groups, they were like, I want to see Henry Routh come back. I'm like, no.
Oh, hell no. That dude from Superman Returns?
Yeah, what's his first name?
Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh.
Oh, fuck him.
All he did in that movie was lift shit. That's all he fucking did.
That was worse than Man of Steel.
Yeah,
way worse.
Way worse. And it's not him as like being a bad actor. It's just it was written fucking terribly. I don't want to see him do the role again.
Well, it was supposed to be in the future, but he looked even older than Christopher Reeves in the last, Superman 4.
It's supposed to be after Superman 2.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was supposed to be like a reboot and erase Superman 3 and 4, and it just didn't work because a lot of people didn't like creepy Superman, where he was voyeuring on Lois Lane, and like he was just like, I don't know, he was somewhat emo and shit, and
it's weird.
He's
a hard character to get right, but you have like obviously Captain America has a lot of the same traits, and you could do it. you could just you got to get the right director and the right writer.
Well, Captain America has less powers, right?
Definitely,
and
definitely.
He's vulnerable. And I think that's one of the things that's hard about Superman is that he has like this super thick plot armor. Like if anything happens, he gets a new power that makes him more powerful. And that's why I don't like Superman. I would say time and time again, he's a shitty hero because they keep writing in new powers to supplement whatever new villain comes up. But that's not the way it's supposed to work. We love heroes because they can overcome shit on their own with what they have, whatever it might be. That's why we love heroes. And to have somebody that gets something magically new because there's some new villain out is just, I think it's fucking terrible writing.
I disagree. I think Superman's one of the best comic book heroes out there. But that's my
Give me your reasons.
Well, one, from an American standpoint, because he's an American comic, he's supposed to idolize the big three: truth, justice, and the American way. He does have he has two big weaknesses: magic and kryptonite, which you can use to technically kill him. But however,
both of those
just like
barely exist.
They still apparently Lex Luthor is able to make them over and over again, or find them in some weird deposit some way. He manages to build a suit that is able to go toe to toe with Superman.
Yeah, but magically somehow he gets through that, or they give him a suit that is kryptonite proof, or they do some shit where he can get around magic. That's the problem that I have.
I feel the same way about Batman. Apparently, Batman's utility belt is endless and has no bottom, and all of a sudden he has these fucking gadgets or this wonder fucking bullshit that gets him out of the fucking thing. Prep time.
No, well, not even that. Bane broke his motherfucking back.
And actually, in Justice League, he had something that happened way worse than Bane breaking his back like 2 issues ago. And he gets injured all the fucking time. And seeing him recover from those serious injuries happens all the time. He has definite faults. He's not the perfect hero. And that's why most people prefer Batman over Superman.
Shitty father.
Next.
Shitty mentor.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say that he failed mentoring Kara as well because he was too busy trying to save the world and he wasn't there for her. He's supposed to be her, even though they're cousins, he's supposed to be like her mentor / big brother. And some people say he failed at that.
But she's still a hero.
Yeah.
Like she didn't turn into fucking Red Hood.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, she
didn't
get
die.
killed. She hasn't died yet.
She didn't get killed. But we'll see with fucking Henry Cavill. We all know he's gonna be in Geralt for The Witcher, but we don't know about anything else with movies. So.
As we're talking about The Witcher,
go ahead.
Since you brought it up,
yes, I did.
There's been some controversy about the Witcher.
Again?
Yes, that's going to be on Netflix, right?
Yes, it is.
They're making a show, The Witcher, on Netflix, and Ciri might be a person of color. More than likely, be a person of color, and that caused some controversy with both me and Prodigy, and like most of the internet, rightly so, because The Witcher is based upon Polish folklore, and they're white people. So, because it's Poland.
Yep.
And there's some times where it's okay to replace people that are people of color in whatever media, and there's sometimes where it's not appropriate. Like this, like if you're basing your stories on Polish folklore, I do not expect somebody other than a Polish-looking person to play those roles, and then I don't understand why people don't understand that. Like, I don't want to see like an Ethiopian story played by a white guy.
Nope.
I'd be very fucking offended about that, and I'm equally as offended if somebody playing Ciri that is a person of color when it doesn't belong in that story.
We all loved pretty much every single game except for Ascension in the God of War series. Kratos is Greek. Yeah.
Voiced by a black dude.
Voiced by a black dude every single time. A different black dude on this latest game.
Yeah,
but yes.
it was a new one,
yeah, but regardless. Like, if you did a live-action God of War and you had an Asian Kratos, like Chinese-American Kratos, it would look weird. He's a Greek hero.
Yeah, it doesn't make fucking sense. Like, it really doesn't. This is why I always say, you cannot do diversity for diversity's sake, because there's times where it just doesn't make sense. You're never going to convince me that, somebody in fucking Europe in the fucking 1400s is black. Yeah. Unless he was a fucking slave, which even then, the 1400s, I don't think there was any fucking slaves from Africa back then,
And it's going to be, well, the other thing is from the story, and I haven't played Witcher 2 or 1, and I've only read or heard a little bit of the audiobook, so forgive me, I'm not going to go deep into the lore.
I'm sorry, when I said the 1400s, except for maybe the Moors.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But for Ciri, she kind of resembles Geralt in a lot of ways, and they talk about that quite a bit, at least in Witcher 3. Again, haven't played Witcher 1, haven't played Witcher 2, haven't read all the books, but they definitely talk about that a lot, and they look similar, like father-daughter almost, you know?
Yeah, I think this is the problem that I have when people bring up shit like this and they get angry about like what we're saying. It's like, listen, if you want to have stories of people of color, then please give me a new story. I want to know more about Anansi. I want to know more about African gods. I want to know more about shit like that, and then make them, ethnically appropriate.
Yep.
And I think that'd be way more important than me learning Polish lore with somebody that is not the correct ethnicity.
And I will say this too, I'm okay with you bringing in a brand new character that makes sense, who is a Moor or who is from Egypt and happens to be traveling to Poland for sales of whatever the fuck it is. And that character has their own lore. They're obviously not Polish, but they fit into the story, and they do a side mission with Geralt and Ciri. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, but Ciri isn't,
Yeah, like what if there's some other Witcher-type character that came from a different land?
There you go.
That's fine. It's easily written into, but that's not fucking Ciri.
Yeah. And the other thing, I always point this out to people, Poland takes this shit seriously as fuck. It's almost as serious as like anime is to Japan or I don't even know the American equivalent, like baseball or something to America. I don't know. Poland takes it so seriously, like when then President Obama visited Poland, they gave him a copy of Witcher 3 as like, here's a goodwill of some of our cultural traditions. Here's a fucking copy of Witcher 3. To the president at the time. That's how serious Poland takes this lore. So talk to some Polish geeks, talk to some Polish gamers. The internet can help you talk to people all over the fucking world. They'll tell you what we're telling you as well. Just be respectful.
Yeah, it's this fucking world we live in. It's awesome but fucking strange as shit at the same time. Where it's just like, I don't understand people's like outrage over shit that they should not be outraged about. There's other things that you should be outraged about. Like, if you want to be outraged about, like, ethnic shit, then have a problem with slavery that's happening right now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or, fucked up shit that's happening with, like, female circumcision or, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's
human
proper
rights.
outrage.
Human rights violations.
Shit. But people, like, being, let's get people of color in every fucking... No, we don't belong everywhere. Just like, I don't know if you knew... I was listening to, what was it, the Joe Rogan podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how basically like the humans split off basically in like two different groups.
Yeah.
Like after the Ice Age, because we got separated because people came over from Asia to America, and then the Bering Strait fucking defrosted, closed up, couldn't cross it again at that time, and then all of a sudden Christopher Columbus comes over like fucking hundreds of thousands of years later. Yeah. And that's when the human race gets reunited. But with that reuniting came like a whole bunch of problems, like with sickness from the Europeans, and then not like the Native Americans. They didn't really have alcohol at the time, and that's why they don't have a tolerance for it now. And there's all kinds of shit that ethnically that other ethnic groups have that others don't. Like even with like with sickle cell anemia. Yeah. That's like really bad, right? But there's also, I have like what's called G6PD deficiency. It makes me like immune to malaria. Yeah. And that's one of those things that if you don't have like diverse fucking genes, like you're going to miss that. So there's like a bunch of things that people got exposed to that are now immune to because of the mixing. But at a certain point in human history, we're like divergent from each other. Yeah. And it kind of brought us back with one fucking asshole that was a murderous bitch. Yeah.
There you go. No, that's a good summary. It really is. Yeah.
It's okay to be different.
It really is. And not every story is for everybody. And the other thing is, even though, not to even use The Witcher, like Lord of the Rings was pretty much all white actors. Yeah. I love I fuck with Lord of the Rings heavy as fuck. Yeah. Great series. You know what I mean? Harry Potter wasn't all that diverse. The movies, if we're being honest.
There's some, and there's Asian.
That's some token. Non-speaking parts in the back of Hogwarts,
But it's also England.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. I like that shit. You know what I mean?
Even though England is diverse now. But it's also, you have to remember, like, when somebody's writing any kind of story or movie or anything, they're drawing upon their life experience. And if their life experience is only within like a certain ethnic group, as long as it's not like racist, I don't really give a shit. Yeah.
And I can appreciate, I didn't know anything about Polish folklore. I knew very little about Norse, until God of War came around. I knew about I learned way more from that. I learned more from God of War on Greek, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot from video games. But anyway, I'm just saying you can learn from like cultural stuff that is true to that ethnicity, whether you're in it or not. That's the other thing. That's one of the fun things about life. Maybe I want to go to Poland and ask them, "Hey, what's up with The Witcher?" Oh, let's have a fucking pint and talk about that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's way more of an appropriate way to think about these things than let's just get a person of color in there. You know what I mean? That's to me, it's almost like the affirmative action.
Yeah.
Of like trying to just like insert shit in there where it doesn't. Hold on, let me roll back the affirmative action thing. There's things where like it's just not appropriate to put things in there. Yeah. And for you to just force it in there because you want to see somebody that looks like you, that makes you kind of racist in my book.
Yeah.
Like it really does.
I'm gonna say this too. I'm sorry. I know we're picking back off each other more and more, but you're automatically the actress. You know, let's say whoever it is, she's going to get shit on, predictably so. Some people are going to be racist with her. Some people are just going to say she's the wrong actress for that role. And it's going to be a mix of that. Yeah. But it's all going to be cast with a broad brush of everybody's racist and evil. I will not be for her if she doesn't look like Siri. I won't be. I'm not going to be racist against the actress or whatever, but if she's wrong for the part, sight unseen, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, this is what I'm used to seeing in, 3 fucking different games. Yeah. This is how she looked, and now all of a sudden, she doesn't look like that. And look, we even have, like, I'll give you, like, the perfect example of, like, with the latest Titans show, where they chose a person of color to play Starfire, who, you can say whatever you wanted, but she didn't look black to me. She was orange, so, whatever. Yeah. Either way, they could have made her look a certain way, but they decided to, like, just make her look bad. Now, I don't put that on the actress. I put that on the people that made the character for the show. Yeah. Like, they did a terrible casting, and the costume design was awful. Yep. And you can't do shit like that, especially because when I see people that cosplay that are black, that cosplay as Starfire, that look fucking awesome. They look true to the character, not wearing a fucking fur coat.
What's my girl? Shout out to one K-Bear. She does a great one. Yeah.
K-Bear's great.
Yeah. Well, you always saying whom she do. She bad one. She bad one. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's still a rumor. Nothing's been confirmed. Nobody's been like actually cast in the role yet. I hope they get it right. God damn it. Actually, you know what we got to get into? We got to get
Stitch. Why don't you pick a
go
topic?
Actually, this is something that I want to get your take on. Okay. You attended Stitch Crunchyroll Expo with us. God damn it.
It was fun. That was.
Tell us about it.
That was what. My days get all mixed up. That wasn't.
It was a couple weeks back.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 2 weeks back, me and Prodigy hit it up on a Saturday.
Yep, on a Saturday.
And it was great. I had a blast. It was a lot of amazing, sexy cosplay going on.
There you go. Look
at that. I think it was my first non-sort of Comic-Con event.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Fanime?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
And it was great. We got to see a bunch of really good artwork, and people were just having a really good time. Lots of fun. Prodigy did cost some people some money. Harassment. Trying to talk about Spider-Man and everything. But,
what had happened? It was.
But it was a really good time. It was, and I had never been to the previous one, so I don't know how it compared size-wise.
This is the second year that they've done this. This is in a bigger venue. They had over 45,000 attendees. Oh, wow. So good turnout.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see. It always makes me want to watch more anime so I can know everything it is that I'm seeing. Because I'm like, oh shit, that looks cool, but I don't know what the whole history is or what it is. I was looking for Food Wars kind of stuff. Yes. And everything, some Shokugeki. But it was an absolute blast. Thoroughly loved it.
They had some good, really, and I'm glad you came with. They had some really good announcements, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I've talked about multiple times on this cast, my favorite anime of all time. They're getting part 5 coming in the fall, Golden Wind. Black Clover is getting a second season coming up. They got the new one, which we have touched on a little bit, the High Castle. What is it? I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Guardians of High Castle. And then the other one I wanted to mention was Goblin Slayer, which looks a lot like Berserk with some serious fucking RPG element, old world hack and slash shit. So the anime world looks like they're gonna have a fucking strong fall. Not to mention that even though it's not on Crunchyroll, on Netflix you got the return of Castlevania coming back too.
Yes. We also do we talk one?
I was going to mention
interview.
We got a chance to interview a anime legend who speaks only Japanese and had an interpreter. I'm going to butcher his name a little bit, but I'm going to try my best. Shingo Yamashita. He worked on not only Naruto, but Naruto Shippuden and multiple other projects as a big-time director. And he was super funny.
It was really funny. He was really funny, and he was very interactive with us that were there. About maybe I guess 8 or 9 of us that were there sitting in on the actual interview. I think we were the only ones that didn't understand a word of speakable Japanese.
Yeah. Everybody else seemed to know a little bit of Japanese. I was like, you say arigato, very nice.
No. There was a couple people. It wasn't just us.
Okay.
You could tell because he would say something, and people would laugh, and then like 5 minutes later, we would laugh.
Yeah, there was a delay. There was a delay.
It was very hilariously funny and awkward at the same time because I was like, I feel like I'm on some different planet.
He also did Gurren Lagann as well. Sorry.
Yeah, it's funny because like the one question I wanted to ask him a bunch, like I really wanted to know was like how he tied in all this stuff like the last couple episodes of Naruto, and he didn't direct those.
He was like, that ain't me.
Yeah, that was. But then we had some fun with him though.
Oh hell yeah!
What was the question you asked to like made him laugh?
I asked him if he was on a desert island and could only watch something that wasn't an anime that he worked on repeat, on loop, over and over again. What would he pick? And he fucking laughed at me.
He was I was tripping out by his sense of fashion because I was sitting directly
very
next
Japanese.
to him. And I mean, I was just kind of like, okay, obviously I don't know what to say to this dude or whatever, but I'm just gonna sit here and I was just like observing his man purse and his capri pants.
Yeah, he was fashionable.
Well manicured hands. And
He was
stuff.
very
I was
fashionable.
Like, okay, this guy. I mean, I was just like, sort of just like, okay, this is a culture thing and everything. So I was just sort of taking that whole thing in.
I gotta give props. Kronos did the ultra Japanese like business card exchange. Tell us about that. That was cool.
If you ever meet somebody that's Japanese, like from Japan, there's like a certain way you're supposed to like exchange business cards, and so you're supposed to like basically hold it with like your 2 thumbs like on the card, and then you give it to them and you kind of bow a little bit. And they take it and like usually they'll say, thank you. I think he said thank you in English to me. So nice. I said, you're welcome back. But I probably should have said arigato. But it's fine. But yeah, there's like a certain there's like a thing. It's like you're presenting like a piece of you to them. And it's like a huge deal when you present your card to them.
Yeah.
So don't just hand your card to somebody like willy nilly if they're Japanese.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
Shit.
They'll probably give you like they probably won't hate you for it. But it's just like that's not the way that they do it.
Yeah, ignorant swine.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this American doing that shit? The one big regret. I wish I got a chance to like actually talk to the High Guardian Spice, which we've talked about previously. I wish I got a chance to talk to those creators a little bit and ask them, candidly, some of the questions, and about even some of the controversy and backlash. We didn't get a chance to, unfortunately.
I'm honestly not surprised. I don't know how to put this in a good light, to be honest with you, because I want to say good stuff about Crunchyroll, and because I love Crunchyroll, even though their app is not great, but I use VRV, and that works great. Verve. But High Guardian Spice, I thought that. I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you gotta be honest.
What I saw from their preview thing was disrespectful to anime fans, and it was disrespectful to people in animation altogether. Once I watched it again, because they were talking about how nobody's doing 2D like this anymore, and it's like you guys look just like Steven Universe. People are still doing 2D. It's still very profitable. I think they were fucking full of themselves, and people were calling them out about that. It wasn't just about. I think they just focused on they saw that we're mostly chicks, and I'm like, okay, I don't really give a shit about that. Like, you can be as eccentric as you want to be, but if you're giving me a product with little details, you want to feed me a line of shit where you say that nobody's doing 2D like this anymore, when clearly people are with high success.
Yep.
I think first of all, you don't know anything about your audience, and I don't think you know anything about animation.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they didn't do the panel is because stuff like that is going to come up. Other than just like obviously there was some sexist stuff that likely came out
Sure.
because of that.
Sure.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. They didn't give me any details on stories, and they just gave me details on the creators that I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like, you need to tell me a good story. Like, your product will tell me more about you than you are going to tell me about yourself.
Sure.
If you look at like the creators of Avatar, look at the creators of Voltron. Look at those are probably the same creators, but they are. Of any other new kind of IP that are out there, look at She-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
She-Ra just came out, or they dropped their first trailer, and the trailer is all about She-Ra. It's not heavy on details,
No.
but it doesn't tell me anything. It wasn't like an interview with the creators.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about the creators.
And we've talked about it before. I'm with you. I will try to reach out to them. I don't know whether they'll respond, but I'd love to pick their brain.
They probably won't now. But.
Well, but here's the thing: we got to be honest on our cast.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. But what I'm gonna say is, I want to pick their brain about whether it was challenging marketing that maybe they didn't agree with the marketing. You know what I mean?
I hope they didn't.
Yeah,
because it was terrible marketing.
But I want to get their sense of it. And the show hasn't come out. I want Crunchyroll / Verve to do original content. I think that's a great bold move. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I'm not very convinced on this particular show, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, like we had when we had Sam Dietz on, we had no idea who Sam Dietz was before Castlevania.
Yep.
He was a relative nobody. I know he worked on video games.
Yeah.
After the interview, I had no idea before that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a much better way to go about things. Is that you put out a product.
Mm-hmm.
If people like it, then they will love you. Like,
Yes.
If you tell them more about you than you do about your product, there's a serious problem there.
Cart before the horse.
Yeah, like nobody knew who Henry Ford was until he made the fucking car. You know what I mean? So,
But I'm Henry Ford.
yeah. It's just like I don't.
Whoops.
This shit doesn't matter. So, we're a smaller podcast, I guess. But if you can listen to some words of wisdom from like fans of anime and animation in general, please don't cut promos like that ever again. Like, make it about your product, and if your product isn't ready for that kind of I guess visibility, then make it about the visibility first, and then after you have success with the product, then please I would like to learn about the people that made the product.
Yeah, I feel that.
But at this point, it's just like it's a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
So.
The other one, I know that they were supposed to be doing one. What was it? Cannon Busters with LaShawn, but I didn't see him there at all. I thought LaShawn Thomas.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't see him there either. I don't remember seeing him on the schedule either.
He's probably
I
busy
could be
in
wrong.
Tokyo drawing.
Yeah,
you know,
no, but it's all good. I mean, I still had fun at the Crunchyroll Expo. One of the things I had cool time with. I was only there for like a couple of hours. Unfortunately, because I had like other commitments that I had to do. But I saw the creator of Boomslank. So if you watch the video, the shirt I'm wearing,
dope shirt.
It's from Boomslank. Right now, the guy's doing apparel. He's a Nigerian, I believe. Really cool guy. He does apparel and posters, and he's thinking about doing it into like a manga and an anime, but it's as funding occurs. And right now, the way that like his artwork is, it's fucking amazing.
It's one of the most amazing mechs I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
Like Kronos bought the shirt and I bought the shirt, like the same shirt, just because when we saw it on the little stand, it popped out. Mm-hmm. It looked like nothing else at the fucking con.
Yeah, and it wasn't just us. It was like there's people that were waiting to buy the
shirts line.
Too. Yeah. It was pretty awesome to see somebody that is just doing apparel art get that kind of attention. So I hope that they get funding.
We might have him on.
Yeah, actually, I want to have him on. I know I told him like when I was there, I was like, look, if you guys made this into a manga or anime, we'll have you on. But honestly, his artwork is good enough to have us. And I want to hear about like his life story, because somebody to be from Nigeria to be doing anime style art, that's really interesting to me.
Good backstory.
Yeah. So I wanted to learn.
He's young.
Yeah, he's really young. He's way younger than us. So I want to like hear about what it's like to grow up in Nigeria, how he found anime, and how he started like his whole artwork style. Because that's like I didn't know it's a thing in Nigeria.
No,
maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I would like to know. So I'd like to have him on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll definitely reach out. In fact, I'll do that probably tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and it's Boomslank.
Yeah, spell it out for him.
And it's BOMSLANK.
Yeah, and nobody paid us for that shit. We're just telling you this shit was dope.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's like you can tell by looking at like he has a story on here because like it even says pilot and it says Rio. Like I'm reading upside down, so
And you've been drinking.
Kirishima. Yeah, I can read upside down, but not what I'm drinking. But it's Kirishima. So I can tell like he has like a story with all these characters and mechs and shit. And I would love to read or watch them.
Yeah, both. So, yeah, good luck to him. Hopefully we can get him on pretty soon. Y'all want to jump into this Olivia Munn stuff a little bit?
Because I need the details on this because I saw you going hard on this, but I was kind of confused if I was missing something when I was trying to read the story.
I don't want to come across super negatively at her per se.
But I'm going to come across super negatively at her.
Yeah. No, because she did the right thing. She is in the movie The Predator. The director had someone who was a registered sex offender in the movie and didn't tell her. I think she has been a victim of some kind of sexual misconduct in the past. I don't have all the details on that.
Real quick though, this it's something to do with the story. He's been in other movies before too. He's been in Iron Man. He's been in a bunch of movies. Yeah.
Okay.
After the sexual
He's
assault,
an actor or
came out.
just like a
he's an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the studio, she told the studio cut his scenes that I think had already been filmed
With her. The only scene.
Okay. Out of the movie, so that will not be in the movie The Predator that is going to be out in theaters probably tomorrow or
Friday,
the day after.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So it seemed like she did the right thing, blowing the whistle. The studio did the right thing, changing the actual story, which is above and beyond for a studio to do that. That's expensive. But what I saw earlier this week was her complaining that quote unquote and I'm paraphrasing, her coworkers on the movie, which is a lot of A-listers, are shunning her after her blowing the whistle.
Okay, so let me just establish. Okay, so
for interviews, I mean, like going on interviews to promote the movie, and her coworkers like flake whenever she's involved.
She found about this like post-production that he was a sex offender.
Like literally,
sounds like it.
3 to 4 weeks ago.
And then she spoke with the directors, or did she just go run and scream in the media?
She spoke with the studio.
Studio did the change.
She did the right thing.
Okay, I just want to make sure I established that whole aspect of it. Okay.
Just to be clear, to reiterate, I think she did the right thing because if someone is a registered sex offender, that's something that you need to have the information on before you're doing scenes of any sort with them.
Well, and apparently the studio didn't even know.
Yeah, and the studio and Olivia seem to do quote unquote the right thing that I approve of, and I think everybody approves of.
So nobody knew.
That's what they're saying. That's the story.
Shane Black definitely knew
because they are friends.
the director, right?
Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it sounds like the studio didn't do the due diligence of background check, and Olivia was surprised.
And so now she's saying she's being shunned by her coworkers.
Yes.
Like when she says shunned, like how? Like
there's an Access Hollywood. There's an Access Hollywood interview tomorrow morning, and Olivia Munn and 2 or 3 of the co-stars are supposed to be on it, and the only one that shows up is quote Olivia, supposedly, allegedly. That kind of stuff of shunning.
Okay, and you're mad at...
I'm not mad. What my take is, just to really quickly reiterate, I'm not mad at her per se, but this seems like much ado about nothing, and nobody owes legally being nice to another human being. You can't mandate that. You can't legislate that. We have been flaked on this cast by certain celebrities who will go unnamed, for interviews. It happens all the fucking time.
This is actually tied it directly into this fucking story. We were actually going to have Shane Black on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I'm fairly certain, like 99% certain, that after this story came out, that's the reason why.
That's true.
Because we were supposed to have him, I think it was like last week. Actually, yesterday.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have him on. And
yeah.
They just kind of went dark.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it's because of this story.
Yep.
Which I'm not blaming Olivia Munn for this.
No.
Because if you were in a scene with somebody that's a sex offender and you're not comfortable with that, 100% you're right. 100% get that shit fucking pulled, that's fine. But at the same time, like there's times where a celebrity will not go on something for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And this is obviously one of those reasons. I think that's the reason, because he hasn't done any interviews since this came out.
No.
And we've had other celebrities that have flaked on us. And it's fucking fun. It happens to, like, it's not just us. It happens to everybody.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not in person.
Even big time, like, network news shows or the Tonight Show gets flaked on every now and again.
Yeah, and Shane Black or whoever was dealing with Shane Black, if you listen to this podcast, we'll still have him on.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it, but I'm not gonna. We're not
don't
gonna
have to
shy.
talk
Well, I was gonna say we're not gonna shy away from like real questions too.
Well, not real questions, yeah, but I don't want to talk about something he's not comfortable with talking about.
Well,
So-
you know how PR does. They're going to tell us beforehand.
Cut the mic.
No, well, for one fucking person.
Yeah.
Every other PR rep that we've had, they've been excellent.
Yes,
For
yes,
sure.
yes.
But, I mean, it has happened to us.
Yeah.
And it very well probably won't be the last time that'll happen.
They gonna try.
I mean,
We got trump card.
I guess Munn can't get mad because if people don't want to jump on her train of we need to do something about this, then you can't really get mad about it. But in the
Especially
same
when something's
light,
been done, right? I mean,
yeah. Also, you can't. I guess you can't get mad at her for saying, "Hey, this is what happened. I just want everyone to see how this is being played out and everything." Because we've had the whole, let's say, the Terry Crews incident, where he brought an incident to light. I mean, much later on.
Yes.
And
Well, he tried at the time to notify people too.
Yeah, and people were just kind of like, just sort of didn't pay it any fucking mind.
Yep.
And everything. And then eventually, as time progressed, and then you say it's tied in with the whole Me Too movement, and then people start trying to pay attention to shit. Then we're like, oh shit, this happened to Terry Crews. So I can't get mad at her for saying, hey, knock, 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 hello, this is what I did, and nobody's caring again, or nobody's caring that this is happening, or no one's got my back. I can, not to say I completely agree with her on that, but I'm not mad at her for saying, hey, this is what I did. Just put a little bullet point by it. Hey, I called it out when it happened. This happened, and nobody's riding with it or whatever. But
so hold on, I understand what you're saying, but like what you wanted to get accomplished got accomplished. That's
I
way
agree.
more important than somebody sitting next to you in an interview.
yes.
Because at the end of the day, we're really talking about feelings. You know what I mean? We're talking about some high school age like stuff beyond her rightly so blowing the whistle, the studio rightly so changing the movie. After that, we wash our hands. Yes, it is professional to show up for a scheduled interview. You should do that.
Yeah.
But things do
happen
happen.
a lot,
I didn't know this before we started doing this.
Oh, yeah.
How much that's par for the course. You know what I mean?
And
Like, we hope when we have a scheduled interview that we don't get flaked on.
Neither do the listeners until today. Yeah, there's been like so many interviews that have been fucking canceled.
Yeah.
Like we've been sitting here like literally when I'm supposed to be like working my
Yeah,
day job.
exactly.
And I'm like waiting for somebody to call in, and they don't fucking call in.
Yeah, we're sitting here, fingers crossed, like, hope he
Yeah.
calls in. Hope she
Yeah.
calls in.
And
You
then all
know.
of a sudden we get an email back, an hour
Sorry.
later from PR rep. Oh,
Sorry.
Sorry.
You know,
Yeah.
and we roll with it.
Yeah,
You know what I
It's
mean?
not a big deal.
We roll with it. So, I don't know.
What is she
It's
saying about? Is she roasting How is she roasting or calling out these?
basically
people
saying they're not supportive. They're shunning me, and that's not cool.
They don't. So listen, if this problem I have, like, if you don't have a problem, if you have a problem with somebody, you do not need the support of somebody else to have a problem with them. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
Olivia, you're grown up.
Yep.
I think if you want to fight a fight, you do that. Asking for allies is not really necessary when you accomplish your goal.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of throwing stuff on there that doesn't need to be thrown on there. I mean, I would hope. Obviously, they could. You're right. They could obviously be all of them terrible people that are all for fucking sexually assaulting somebody.
Yeah.
Which is highly fucking unlikely.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think what's more unlikely is that they're just not doing it because they have scheduling conflicts. That's what I think is more likely. But if what I said is true, or like they're just all for, fucking kids and shit, then that's awful. But you have literally zero proof of that.
Or they literally don't want to be associated with some of the controversy. Because, I mean, the other thing is actors and directors are worried about their next gig. That is what they're worried about.
Well, if that's the case, then I would be more on Olivia Munn's side. Where they're kind of
okay.
cowards.
Yeah,
So
I think actors in general can be very cowardly people because they spend so long trying to even get that opportunity. And it's like, man, I want to hold on to this as long as I fucking can.
Fuck. Quan's in town filming a movie in Santa Cruz.
He'd have an interesting take.
Yeah, he'd have a more take because he's told me some stuff like, PR. They have I forgot what they call it, but it's like a tour, like a press tour.
Yep.
but it's mandated by the studio. It's within your contract that you have to do a certain amount, whether you do them all or not.
We know about this.
Yeah. So yes. So I mean, but I don't know what kind of proof or statement she has, but I definitely think it may be kind of on Prodigy's side where they don't want to be associated with the controversy and they don't want any gotcha questions. Because Good Morning America is watched by millions of people. It's like the first thing people see in the beginning of the day.
Yeah, it's big media.
And the movie comes out this fucking weekend, and if they're doing this and they all are like, well, we want to distance ourselves from this controversy, I'd rather not go. It's better to be up there than get blasted or sidelined by these questions. I'm just not going to show up. And she's like, well, they're not showing up because of me. Well, maybe indirectly, yes, but still, I think distancing yourself to getting that next gig or avoiding even more controversy or accidentally fucking up and saying shit that you should not be saying, that could be an issue as well.
Okay. What you said is like totally valid, no ninja. But we've interviewed a lot of people, and what is one of the main things that Prodigy says when we interview somebody?
No gotcha questions.
Yeah.
Like we appreciate your time.
Yes. That's what we do 100% of the time. I don't think we've ever not said that.
Yeah,
except for maybe like our first interviews.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But even then, like we know some like things we're gonna shy away from. If it's something that is like really controversial that we know is gonna come up, and that we know they don't want to talk about, we are not gonna have them on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna let some big elephant in the room.
Oh yeah.
Just like sit there and me not talk about it. But at the same time, if there's some shit that I want to know about and I don't want to talk about that certain situation, then I'll have them on for something else.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, in an outlet like that, because Good Morning America is live, you could blast somebody with, especially if Shane Black is there.
There's the potential for the YouTube moment that goes viral.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Look, can you believe what he said about?
Exactly. So, I mean, usually the morning crews are usually pretty good about it, but people like Howard Stern and, other like Shock Rock, or even people that you may think wouldn't go that way may hit you with that the fucking gotcha shit, and it's better in some cases. It's better just to avoid it by not going.
And I'm also going to throw out one other alternative that I don't know. This is pure speculation, but they may not personally have enjoyed their experience with her on set.
That's also true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or their experience altogether.
Yeah, because that happens as well. Not everybody who does a movie together likes those people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Very famously, she and Kevin Ferreira,
Brett Ratner.
Well, that too.
Yeah, but I was just going to say from the Attack on the Attack show, Attack of the Show was where I first got introduced to her. She had a lot of beef with Kevin for a number of years. I think they squashed it eventually, but things don't always work out. That's all I'm saying. Damn. We handled that pretty well.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it.
It's probably somebody's still going to complain.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's fine.
Fuck you.
I mean, hey, they won't have nothing to say if we get Olivia Munn on the show.
Come on through, Olivia.
I would love that.
We'll be nice to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of us to talk about, especially with Attack of the Show.
Yeah.
That's like almost an hour worth of questions.
Actually, what's funny is that my favorite show that she was in was The Newsroom.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
On
HBO.
I've never seen that show.
You've never seen that show?
I didn't have HBO at the time. I do now, and I know that it's on HBO Go. But I heard it was really good.
Everybody watched The Newsroom.
I've seen.
She is not only a great character, but the entire show is fucking excellent. After the first episode, you will realize what's happening in the show, and it's fucking awesome.
So during the presidential election, when Mr. Trump kept saying "Make America Great Again," someone posted a clip from The Newsroom where they're at a college.
Or Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels,
Yeah,
and
that
they're all
speech.
talking about. Yeah, he gives a speech about how America wasn't great to begin with. He goes on this tirade.
That was
and
in the
shuts
first
down.
episode.
Was that the first episode?
I think, first or second,
The
right?
first one,
Yeah, he just tears down this dude, and everyone's quiet at the end. They're like, "Oh shit!"
It's a great show. It's
I was
well
like,
worth
holy
watching.
shit!
And I didn't finish it.
I've seen
finish
bits
it?
and pieces.
No, I need to finish it. I need to go back.
But there you go. That's our recommendation, Newsroom.
Goddamn.
But actually, my show, the segment that I loved, that she was in with Anna David, was between the sheets, I think, or
Oh yeah.
or between your legs or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was on Attack the Show.
Anna David was a little freak.
Oh, dude, I didn't know until her podcast she was a coke fiend. She would suck dick for coke. She has no problem saying that now. No problem.
Yeah.
I was like, why wasn't I in LA at the time? Holy shit.
Like, I had coke money.
Oh, man. I would have shuttled coke from Columbia
Fuck it,
just
man.
for that.
I would eat pussy for pussy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
If I could name this podcast that, I would.
Oh,
but-
yeah. Yeah, that ain't
Hey,
gonna
just
work.
say P for P.
No, because that sounds gross. So I would definitely
Just
not
don't add the 2 other vowels,
eat
that's
or
all.
drink urine.
Just don't add the 2 vowels, that's all.
Oh, no. It could be player versus player. Okay, goddamn it. Did anybody watch? I know Iron Fist came back season 2. Everybody laughed at, not with, season 1. What do y'all say about the return of Danny?
I finished it.
What? Damn, you
Yeah.
marathon through
I
it?
fin-
Oh, he didn't have Spidey to play. That's
No,
what it
I
was.
didn't have
That's what
Spidey.
it
He was
was.
all sad
So-
and shit. He's checking from the corner crying and shit.
Oh,
Watch
worry,
Danny
Iron
Rand.
Fist, I like you.
that's all bad.
Colleen.
Ooh, Colleen is bad, though. She bad as fuck.
All right, this is 13 episodes? Or is
Listen,
it
Sure.
It's 10 episodes.
I think
It's 3 less episodes.
Colin Wing might be the definition of both a unicorn and slim thick.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Ooh, boy.
How is this? Is this better than season 1?
This is phenomenally better. This is a lot better than season 1. Are anybody else planning on watching it?
I'm on the fence.
I might.
Let me finish Spidey
I
first.
need to hear a lot of good.
I will
Positive
give.
reviews, and I might
So I've
jump
kind
in.
of prepped like a semi non-spoilery like
You've got
quick
a
review.
samurai? What?
No, whoa, on
Damn.
Colleen Wing.
Put that
Fuck,
thing away.
fuck yeah. So this kind of comes off the heels of the Defenders.
Okay.
So we start off with the Defenders version, like the old version of Danny Rand, and then they kind of reset the character in a way. He gets cucked pretty much. He gets
Wow.
cucked in his own show. There's a point for about 3 to 4 episodes where he kind of isn't the main character.
Good. He's fucking.
He's
sucks
not
as
very
an actor.
likable, so yeah.
So I mean,
So who's fucking Colleen in front of him while he's wearing the belt?
well, it's they fuck him
Oh.
kind of.
That ain't cucking.
So well, he got. I mean, they kind of cucked him in a. I said he got kind of cucked. I mean,
Alright.
they kind of used strap-ons on him, but.
God damn.
But yeah, there's actually a new interesting character, Mary, either Typhoid Mary or Bloody Mary.
Okay.
I guess I was talking to B-Boy Frost, Hobby from PlayStation Trophy Hunters. He says this is mostly the version of Bloody Mary, not really Typhoid Mary. If you're familiar with the Crane sisters, they're in this season.
No idea, but
yeah.
I've heard that they're in it.
Yeah, they're in this season. There's slightly better fighting. There's better fighting than season 1.
Did
But
he give a damn about the fighting? That's what I want to know.
with Davos?
Did he
Yes.
look like he trained?
He trains in the show.
No, like him as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, him as an actor, you can tell he stepped it up, but it's still not the best martial arts you see on TV. It's better than season 1, but it's not like the best. It's not.
It's not Into the Badlands.
Yeah, it's not Into the Badlands. It's not even like some of the other
I
stuff.
still
But
haven't watched like season 3 into the Badlands. I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to as well.
so yeah, there's another character from one of the other shows pops up. I mean, I'm assuming everybody
Just
knows.
say it. Just say it.
Misty Knight. She shows up.
Okay, one
She's-
arm Missy.
Yeah, she's in it for like
She got a better arm.
She has the arm that she got from Luke Cage. So I don't know if
You
this.
gotta fix that.
Yeah,
That ain't no Winter Soldier.
yeah. Well, you have to watch the series though, because her arm does play a factor, and there's some stuff that goes on. But whatever. So
You
yeah.
ain't selling this, man.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't want to give away too much because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of new villains, and like I said, there's.
I feel like Misty Knight should have had a dark and lovely arm, and they gave her Vaseline.
Oh.
I'm just saying that's a super
man.
black joke. If y'all didn't get that,
Yeah.
it's okay. You're not African American.
Dark and
Just
lovely.
let it go.
Damn.
Yeah.
She is dark and lovely though. But yeah, for a minute, Colleen and Misty kind of take the reins from the show from him, where he takes a back seat.
Do they scissor?
I wish.
God damn it. that'd be
They do have a lot of
best thing ever.
scenes
You-
by
you bowing
themselves.
out?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, get the fuck out. I mean,
You got to get up early, man. It's all right.
but yeah,
Sure
it's
thing.
definitely it's less episodes than season 1. There's a lot more going on. We see Davos. Davos is the main villain this season.
That
He
a
steps it
ninja?
up.
Is that a ninja again?
He's the guy who grew up with in Kunlun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The little bald dude. We see the Iron Fist costume from the comics.
All right.
They also explore the lore that there's been more than one Iron Fist.
Is Cage
And-
in it?
No,
No Cage at all.
no Cage.
Oh.
He's mentioned once.
Wow.
The way the series kicks off is the legacy of Matt Murdock,
Oh.
where it literally starts where Iron Fist is like, Matt told us to take care of his city,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to do.
What the fuck happened to Matt again?
He got crushed. He got crushed in the building in Defenders.
Oh shit! But he has season 3 of Iron Fist.
Well,
Daredevil coming.
we don't see him crushed. The building falls on him, and then he wakes up in a nunnery or a convent. He wakes
That's
up in
right.
a convent.
That's right.
He'd be alright.
Yeah, he'll come back
Because
eventually.
comics.
But
Yeah.
to them, Matt is dead.
Oh shit.
To them, Matt is dead. I think this is concurrent with Luke because Misty talks about her being displeased with where Luke is at the moment. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot more characters that are kind of more interesting than Iron Fist. That's why I kept watching. So yeah, it's definitely worth a watch, especially with like some of the stepped up fighting and stuff. I really like Alice Eve. She's a gorgeous woman, but she plays a really fucked up person.
Can we see what Alice Eve looks like? I need a visual.
If you've seen Star Trek Into Darkness. She's in that. If you've ever seen,
Remind me,
She's Out of My League.
I recognize from Booty.
She's an Australian. Oh, she does have a fat ass. She's an Australian actress. She's
Okay.
normally blonde, but she's a redhead in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Alice Eve. There she go.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, there she
Yeah,
is.
yeah. There we go.
She is she's all Igit.
Wait, what? Who?
You never heard of all Igit?
I didn't hear it. Just
What was
oh, god dang.
Thickness.
For those of you who are listening and not watching, we're just looking at Alice Eve in bikini, two-piece bikini scene.
Looks like she's about to like. Oh wait, this picture right here.
Oh man.
She's about to.
Yeah.
Oh, look like that's when she gets her leg broken, but it looks like she's about to bust.
Yeah, bless it. Open for you.
Yeah.
So overall, it sounds like this is at least a B or something.
Yeah.
No?
B minus.
B minus?
Yeah.
All right, keep going lower.
I'll give it a B minus.
That's sad.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
well, this first season was like a C plus.
Oh,
This
that,
is
that is sad, right?
Yeah, that ass.
it's not that bad.
I mean, I haven't heard people.
Better than Captain Marvel. Everyone that I know that's watching it is saying it's way better than season 1, and it is.
That's good, but that's a low bar still. But that is good.
So it's only 10 episodes, so
That's
it's
good. I mean,
There's huge twists at the end, so I think it's worth watching.
I'm down to check it out a little bit.
Hello.
A little bit. Tiny bit.
So what's this about? There's a couple things, some pop culture shit.
Uh-oh.
Go Cardi and Nicki.
Yeah, it was just some ignorant, sad ass
So
shit,
someone
man.
popped someone in the eye or some shit.
So Cardi's hood as fuck.
Well,
And-
no shit.
and she-
You know what? She raps about her pussy more than fucking Lil Kim.
Yeah, I think Nicki raps about her pussy a lot, but anyway, Nicki had a failed album this year. That's the other part of it. But I guess they got into some kind of fat cat fight over at in New York at a fashion week or whatever. Over Nicki talking about her Cardi's kid or something like that. Real ignorant, sad shit. You know, you don't need to be fighting nobody. You both millionaires.
They
What
ain't no
the fuck?
Doja Cat.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
They ain't no Doja Cat.
Nah. Yeah, this is a bad look. It really is. I mean,
Especially the lumps on the face.
yeah, she had a huge knot above her eye and whatnot.
Hematoma.
But-
Damn.
I'm down for like the shade bullshit between celebrities, like with Aretha and what was it, Patti LaBelle. Like had that shit going on for decades. That's funny.
But it's that and it was like they weren't gonna like throw blows. on
That's
each other.
exactly right. Yeah,
it's
like
come on now.
do diss tracks or throw shade at each other at
It's like-
concerts.
Could you imagine? Just imagine. Fucking any. What's the guy's name? Bill Gates
Yeah.
fighting goddamn shit, not Tim Cook.
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him getting into a fucking fist fight?
I can actually.
I can't. What the
No.
fuck?
I can see Steve Jobs throwing the first blow too.
This
No,
motherfucker.
this is why you're not in IT. You don't understand. Like there's been no fucking way that you'll ever come to blows on some shit.
No.
Like,
you
they-
get lawyers if you got a dispute.
Exactly. Or maybe have him murdered.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god damn.
Hire Deathstroke to fix
There's
it.
no way you use your own hand to jump up in there. Just like that's some real hood shit that is still in your DNA.
Yep.
That you need to get rid of. That you obviously, hopefully, you don't pass down to your kids. Jesus Christ, that'd be fucking awful. Like if you're an adult and you make a lot of money, you handle shit in different ways.
Yeah.
Like you don't get into fist fights on shit.
Not street fist fight. Now, you do jujitsu.
I can understand offending yourself.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah.
But you do jujitsu. If someone wanted to say, "Hey, we're gonna roll together" or whatever like that, or
That's different, yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
But a street fight at a fashion show.
Yeah, it's just at a fashion show. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing with your life?
It'd be like me at a wedding, like, hey man, you want to roll? I'd be like, no, what the fuck?
I'm in a
No.
tux. I'm in a suit.
Yeah,
Like,
like, no.
what are you doing?
Let me just take my fucking my Steve Mans off.
It's immature, and I'm going to say this: it's actually very embarrassing. I mean,
It's
we don't
super
need black female celebrities doing this shit, making everybody look bad, for nothing but petty bullshit. Make music, make good music. that's the thing at the end of the day. Yeah.
Well, and to me, I'm sorry, I got to say it, but to me, they both make not good music. So I'd much rather listen to Doja Cat. So.
Yeah, Doja Cat has had a good year.
She's
awesome.
I knew about it before she got hopefully big now.
Yeah.
I hope she gets huge.
Hopefully,
Huge.
make them new videos, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, it was just this pop culture thing, and they both are pieces of shit.
God
Yeah,
dang.
there ain't no other way.
Did they have red bottom shoes on, or what's
Yeah.
going on?
God
Maybe
damn.
that's what she got hit in the face with. Was a red bottom.
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Cardi B, I'm sorry for your pain, but at the same time, I'm not. Grow up. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Well, she's a mom and a millionaire. Like, you
yeah,
have
like,
bigger
just
problems to
became
worry
one,
about.
right?
Yeah, she's like the #1 artist out there. And
I mean,
out
well,
there.
remember early last year, she was not a household name. Nobody knew who the fuck she
Nope.
was. She went from stripper, and I think she was on some nothing reality show, to household name.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a millionaire now, but I mean I make a decent amount of money, and there's people that treated me like shit when I was a kid, but I don't give a fuck because they're all fucking losers.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you know what I mean? And even if they weren't, I don't give a shit because I still got money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't affect my life now, and I think that unless a story comes out to where Nicki Minaj like literally like tried to stop her career or some shit, which obviously didn't work, but it doesn't matter. I mean, just like let that shit go. Live a better life. Be the better person. Like love yourself.
Do better.
Yeah. Just. I mean, come on. We're not those kind of people. We shouldn't be. You know?
It's sad. It's actually very embarrassing. You should be fucking embarrassed of yourself. God damn. Actually,
do we want to talk about this one? I think this.
What was the one?
Well, there's one of the two. We can talk about Kanye or your.
I don't think there was news with Kanye though.
So
That's my only thing.
Yeah,
I
I was
didn't
like,
watch the video. I heard he got a new video where they're all wearing like big clothes and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're in like weird boxes. It's a Spike Jonze video.
I'm not watching it because I want to do a reaction.
Yeah, I was gonna
video.
say.
Okay,
Let's
yeah,
save it.
let's
Let's
do
save it
react.
for the react.
So then the other one is the debate about split screen.
Oh, you know what? Let's save that because I want Blue to be
Blue?
here as
I
well.
don't- Blue doesn't play split screen. So
Oh, he
it's,
does?
It's
Okay.
a me and you thing, man.
Okay.
Well, actually
So-
no, because I do it too.
Oh, you
In
do
fact,
too?
I just played split screen yesterday.
Okay, well here we go.
Go ahead.
So apparently, Prodigy thinks that split screen is an old and retired technology.
not
Thinks that it's
completely,
total. Well, okay, you explain it then.
I just think that it is something that feels like it's had its heyday, in previous gens. When I think of co-op, I don't automatically think of split screen. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not nearly as common as it used to be. And
Yes, it is still common, you affluent Negro.
it's as common as it used to be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still really
Oh,
common.
wow. Okay, present this argument because I'm not getting this.
It's super common. It's been common since like Halo, and it hasn't stopped.
Actually, it's been common since the GoldenEye, really.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but your statement is it's as common as it was in GoldenEye's era.
Yeah.
Well,
So
right
now, in 2018.
four-player split screen, not as much. 2-player split screen, yes.
As common in 2018 as it was in
common as
okay.
2018. In fact, I mean, the two things were
I'm sorry. Can I just real quickly? When you say common, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you. You're saying in as many games or used as frequently by gamers? Because those are two different things. I
Oh,
want to make sure
okay.
I understand your argument.
So hold on, can I quantify sort of what you're saying?
Sure.
We're in a different point of life than most people.
Sure.
We're older men that have families that obviously we don't have our friends coming over and playing fucking video games
Yeah.
on our same screen.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, what did we do?
We had people over, or we went to an arcade. I get it.
They're still children, right?
Yeah.
So they still do the same thing. They still do the split screen thing because they can't afford games and they can't afford certain consoles. There's still poor kids and shit like that still enjoy the benefits of having a split screen with their friends in person rather than playing multiplayer online because they can't afford all the things that come with that.
Oh boy. Okay.
That is a serious issue that I think you kind of forgot about.
Oh
Yeah,
I'll come back to that, but clarify my question first.
So I'm gonna say it's as many as whatever date that you threw out.
Pick a date. It doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. So
Pick an era.
it is still common because I think you're not seeing your snapshot of where you are today versus where you were 10, 15 years ago. What I didn't realize.
What was the second? Hold on. What was the second part of that?
The first part is where you are.
No.
Oh.
What? Let me ask again.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get you guys to clarify. Are you talking about it as popular from in as many games as previously, like back in 90s, late 80s, whatever, or used as much as? Those are two different things. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Two different things, but they're both kind of
hand in hand.
Relevant. No. It's not even hand in hand. Is that there's more people gaming now, so it's a little difficult to answer both those questions.
I'm trying to get a sense of what you think, even if you don't have the data. It doesn't matter.
I think that there's probably statistically about the same amount
of people using split screen as they did 20 years ago.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So what I didn't know is I was doing research, and I had found out that this split screen was popular at colleges.
Yes.
Which I had no idea.
When are you talking? Are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about within the last 4 years.
And I'll tell you, as like in the military, it's beyond popular. It's like almost 100% how you can play multiplayer when you're like traveling. That's how it played.
So one of the more recent games.
But hold on, you were in the military like previous, not this generation though. Like
it doesn't change what I'm saying. When you're on a boat, and if you're fucking deployed. You don't have a reliable internet connection, so we all played split screen.
Okay.
So there's in fact, as recently as Black Ops 3, that has multiplayer split screen because I've done it, and it's built into the game. What I didn't realize is that colleges do that because sometimes a frat will go in and get 1 or 2 consoles and do a system link or play online and split screen their homies or their frat brothers and play that way. Also, with Battlefront 2, when that came out, EA put out a statement saying people were bitching that the first Battlefield did not have split screen. As far as the Battlefield 2 that came out on the PS2 Xbox had 4-player, people were like, hey, they were looking at tweets, letters, emails about people saying, hey, why is this gone? Like, I used to enjoy playing with my little brother. Our frat was doing this. Like, there was all these people saying that this component we actually used, and they said there was so much demand for it, they brought it back.
Hold on.
Battlefront 2.
Let's stop on that for a second. The fact that the developers initially had some data to support them not having it in the game tells you that they have some evidence that it's not as popular as it once was.
Until they got backlash.
Yeah. So I have
but that's just one game. I mean,
right? No. So I actually have a counter to what you just said. One of the other big problems was that they took away private servers at the same time.
Okay.
And so gamers were like, you either need to have one or the other. If both was ideal, having split screen, because console things they're kind of new at the time. You either need to have consoles with split screen, or have private servers, or both. If you have neither, then people will stop buying these games, and they saw the drop off.
Okay, but Battlefield 2 had a lot of other controversies with it. I'm sorry, you're not talking about Battlefield 2. Though.
Talking about Battlefront.
No, I'm talking about
Battlefront.
No. It's almost all fucking multiplayer games that are first-person shooters. People were very angry that they took away private servers and split screen.
But
very vocal.
But just a second though. the developers themselves wouldn't have made a decision if there wasn't some data to support, because they have to divide up their resources, right? For how much time they're going to spend on whatever they're making in every aspect of a video game. If they, for several games, removed it.
That's an incorrect
What's incorrect?
assumption. Because you cannot have data on a game that is played offline.
Yeah, locally.
Okay.
Versus games that...
But the development of the game, they're responsible for and making decisions on what's going to be...
That's not what I'm arguing with you. You're
Okay.
saying their data.
Okay.
They don't
skip the data, but they have they have to decide.
That's what you said, though.
Okay, but I'm revising it. Just a sec. They have to decide what's in the game, right?
Yes.
Okay. If they have made a decision on several games to exclude it, doesn't that support the fact that...
It's not several games. We already said that they came back and changed it because there were so many complaints.
But they still had to have plenty of evidence to remove it in the first place,
No,
right?
go back to my first point. There was no data. If you cannot have data on something that's offline.
I gotta research this. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're saying that there's just as many games.
Yeah, especially, like I said,
it's way
recently.
more than you think.
Yeah,
But you're saying that there's just as many, though, right?
Yes.
Well, no, there's... Hold on, I can't say just as many because there's fucking more games out now. So when you say just as many... Percentage-wise, it's very similar.
If
Like,
not, I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably 2% more.
Yeah,
maybe
like,
at most.
And especially like after we had the conversation, I was like looking at other games that were like, because I thought that the same split screen thing. So Divinity 2, or what's it called? There was another game that came out that's really fucking popular. It's RPG that's like Diablo. That they made it so it's like basically 4-player co-op that split the screens when you move away from each other.
Oh,
okay.
Diablo 3 was the same way.
I thought Diablo didn't have the
literally
split
almost every Lego game does that.
Yeah,
when you
move.
it does split screen. I play with my little cousin.
Okay.
So we play it'll stay in the same aspect ratio until one moves further away. Then it will split according to how far one player.
You're talking this generation.
This generation, almost every Lego game
and the main
will split when you move away from each other.
And the main reason for that is because they know that kids don't have money and parents have, but the parents have money, but they're not gonna all buy the same game. So it's way more fun for a kid to go to their friend's place to play with their friend in person. Because to be honest, sending your kids for like a kids game, sending them online. You don't want to do that. Like, I didn't want my daughter to play online for like the longest time.
Some people don't.
No, most people don't. If you're a fucking
you have to say that online gaming for co-op has been like ridiculously popular across the board.
Hold on, man. Lego games. What's the demographic?
Usually it's younger. I will admit that.
Do
yeah.
you want younger kids to be online like that?
I mean, what age are we talking?
We're talking like below the age of fucking 12. You do not want them online. That's what I'm saying. Don't even say you don't know, man.
No, the reason why I'm saying I don't know is because I've had my kid online playing Fortnite.
Okay.
But, and he's 7, so,
but for the vast majority of people, but you're there supervising him, right? But a lot of people, a lot of parents are not there watching them game.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, yeah, I am.
Yeah, but you're not, most parents are not there watching their kids play.
Well, but the counter to that is I'm not having any other kids coming over to ever play those games with him in split screen.
You're not, but like for me, I'm not comfortable with. My daughter's 15 right now. I'm like comfortable with her sort of now with her playing like Minecraft online.
Okay.
Right. But if she was below that age, I was like, no, there's no online play with that shit. I'm sorry, you're not gonna do it. If you want somebody to come over and play with them, that's fine. I don't like having the social removed from the game. Where you're totally removed from the social consequences to you talking shit to somebody online, or somebody talking shit to you, and you being unjustly stressed out about somebody saying some shit that they can't see you in person.
Sure, I get that.
That's a huge deal. It's a psychological problem.
I get that aspect of it. When I'm thinking of current gen games, like Battlefield 1, does it have it? I don't know.
No, it does not.
Or Destiny.
Destiny
2?
does not, and they actually explained why.
Well, Destiny's that's different though.
Yeah, Destiny.
Isn't it a first-person shooter?
Destiny explained why, and it was because of their technology and how difficult it would be playing that way. Because you play in third person in certain spots, and how much data is going on.
The overwhelming majority of that game is first-person.
Yeah, of course. But there's because of the content behind the scenes and stuff.
I'm just saying
they didn't do it, but there are
Dying Light. I mean,
Dying Light
Does not.
don't think
It seems
so,
like there's a lot for this current generation. Just off the top of my head, I didn't prepare all of the data and everything, but for this current generation, there's a lot of big, especially first-person games that do not have it. Or my other point is, I think a very tiny minority of the ones that do have it, like I was surprised that World War II Call of Duty had it.
Yeah, World War
but
II,
hold on,
but
let me say. I don't think it's getting utilized nearly as much as online co-op. I really don't.
See, like Crota said, it's hard to get those numbers when they're
I'll
playing.
have to do some more research.
When you're playing locally, you're not online.
I know, but I'll have to do.
It may record you. It might.
Somewhere, some super industry people have to have some hard numbers on.
Oh yeah,
on this
I mean,
stuff.
EA is one of the big ones because they do focus groups. Like, they have focus groups come to them, or they do it wherever. Like Austin, I know they have like a little focus group thing there where they literally have a makeshift living room, bring people in and ask them questions about what they're playing. Part of that was because of Battlefront. They had people complaining that this wasn't there, this wasn't available. I know that the Call of Duties have it. At least I know that some do, some don't. It depends on the developer. I know that Black Ops has it because I have it. Black Ops 3 has it.
I want to know those numbers because I agree the video gaming has gotten way more popular in a bigger industry as a whole. It seems like to me I still hear a minority that have it, and of the ones that do have it, I'm suspicious that more people play online than don't. I really am. I don't have the hard data to support it.
You got to look at the ones that do both, like the ones that do split screen online. Mm-hmm. Like Call of Duty can do, versus split screen locally, like Battlefront. Battlefront, you can only do split screen locally, but you can't go online split screen.
Yeah, and Battlefront 2 had its problems for sales.
What are you talking about online split screen?
So you can play split screen online. So like
that is weird though. That's a weird concept.
I let them roll. You've never done that. So usually, if you
you're talking about having somebody else, two people in your house,
two people in the same console going online. Playing. I did this yesterday.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I'm saying. It's like a way to save money. Like if you're poor, these features are very important.
Especially if you have your little brother with you that wants to play, you can have them split screen with you and help them out or whatnot, or they get a chance to play without really screwing up your KD.
Or even if you're not poor, it's just like if you want to play with somebody in your house and like actually talk to them, have like a social interaction with them.
Well, but there is a distinction though, and even it depends on the game. I mean, let's be very honest, because if you're playing like a sports game, you're playing like a Street Fighter, you're playing like a whole bunch of different games, even like Diablo or whatever. You can do or any of the Souls or whatever. You can do 2 players on the one screen doing co-op. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where the actual screen is divided.
Split, yeah.
Can I fuck up your argument right now? What's one of your favorite games of all time?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
What about Borderlands?
Sure, yeah, and that definitely had it.
Split screen.
But hold on. My point, though, is I think the overwhelming majority of people who played that great title did not play it split screen. But I don't have the data in front of me. Yeah. So unless there's some hard data from industry insiders saying, we saw 20 million people buy the game, and 4 million people did some type of gaming on split screen, and 18 million,
Well, that's a problem. Like, I'll go back to it again. If it's playing offline, you will not have data.
Well, I want some industry data then, because that's what I'm not seeing.
You can say industry data, but you cannot have industry data with something that does not report back.
Well, hold on, but what I'm saying is you can do surveys of a sample. If you have 100, yes, you can. You could sample people, Why can't you sample people offline?
You can sample, I guess, but that's not reliable.
So you got to do something to show me the data proving that it is just as percentage-wise popular as it was in...
If I give you a gaming survey, are you going to fucking do it?
Yeah, I fill those out all the time. I filled it out for Assassin's Creed Origins.
Because you're a fucking old man.
Yeah, I do that all... I always fill out surveys.
Fuck that.
That's because you're fucking old. You also drive a Prius. I'm just saying. What the fuck? Like, no, young people are not going to do that shit.
You have to have... Well, you could bribe them. Bribe them with some fucking, I don't know.
Oh, what, you bribe them with swag.
Yeah,
bribe them with swag.
Hot Topic is popular with the kids, right?
Yeah.
Give them some gaming tokens. Take them to Chuck E. Cheese.
You got to give them, what is it, suppository with fucking vodka, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Bribe them kids. All right. We'll come back to I got to do some more homework on it. I want some data.
It's what I'm going to keep coming back to it, man. You're not going to find decent data on it. unless you got to talk to people.
So it's just speculating versus speculating?
It really is, but I'm telling you from like an actual like hardcore gamer, more hardcore than most of you probably ever were.
I mean, I've been hardcore for years, but yeah.
Yeah, but I was like a pro gamer.
Oh.
So, yeah. People played split screen.
I agree that they did. I don't think they do as much is what my point right now, percentage-wise. I know the gaming industry is bigger.
I would say let's do a poll, but at the same time, our audience is...
They don't know how to wipe their ass. We learned that. They literally don't know how to wipe their ass and poop properly.
Apparently, yeah. That was awful.
Let's wrap
They're
this
like,
up.
you mean a colostomy bag?
Oh.
What's going on here?
They do a handstand and then they just let it all fall into them.
I think they have nurses because we're all old.
Oh, I'm about to need one pretty soon.
All right. Old Ninja, what you got populating this week?
So, I am debating about the goddamn The Predator. Not because of the content we discussed before. It's just it just looks it looks plain. Borderline awful. So
there's a new Predator though. It's like a super Predator.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what Hillary Clinton used to call black kids.
She did. Not apparently. She did it.
Damn, that's all bad. But yeah, so I'm debating about seeing this thing. I'm probably gonna figure out how I'm gonna get Tomb Raider and Spidey in the next 2 weeks.
That's a lot of gaming.
Just suck some dick, dude. You're all good.
Yeah.
For Coke?
Yeah.
Suck dick for games.
Yeah, suck dick for games. Right outside GameStop. Oh, man. And then, yeah, it's kind of about it.
For Old Ninja.
Oh, damn. So,
That's
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's kind of about it.
Kronos, what you got populating?
Thank you, Blue and Prodigy, for coming over to my house over the weekend and helping us make the form for the foundation for the new Infinity base. So if y'all notice, you're watching the fucking video. Obviously, we're still in my fucking garage. But we are working on the Infinity base, the new one. It's going to take some time, all right? Because we're not carpenters. We're not fucking construction workers. So we got to make this shit up as we go along. Luckily, my father-in-law, he knows a lot of shit about everything. So he's helping us out, but it's just going to take some time. Other than that, I would recommend you read The Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's one of the most fun comic books that Marvel has. Death of the Inhumans by Marvel. It's one of the darker stories of the Inhumans and actually of Marvel. It's pretty fucked up. And yeah, that's about it.
Good shit. I am trying to desperately catch up on some of the shows like fucking Cloak and Dagger. I need to finish that off.
Oh, I thought you'd been had finished.
No, I started it. I need to finish it off, and I got to catch up on my anime like Attack on Titan. We're going to talk about that next week.
Shit.
Next week.
I'm
next
one
week.
Episode,
we
one episode behind.
Yeah, I'm 2 behind, so we will get that
You're
shit.
2 behind? God
yeah,
dang.
No, well, Spidey done took over my life. What we got for the show notes?
All right, you can check us on the interwebs at BThanBTI. That's BTHANBTI. Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, Player FM, Stitcher, BThanBTI. Our official website, binheadproductions.com/BThanBTI. Twitch on twitch.tv/BThanBTI. Yeah. Oh, and Amazon. We have an app on there. Download that. Check us out. Apple Podcasts. Rate us. Give us 5 stars. Leave a comment. Even though we haven't read any comments recently, but we'll probably will.
No gotcha questions for the interviews.
Fuck that. Say whatever you want, because we going to say what we want.
God damn, it sounded like a threat.
Gotcha.